Dre and
Oh
Ghost.
shit. I got Dre. What's good?
Is it
Right,
manga
yeah,
or
no,
anime?
no,
Ho.
no,
You on, ho.
disagreeing.
He's been instigating since yesterday. Whatever Senpai says to you, I am not a part of that. No,
Wait, what? Ghosted. Did I say
he's
anything
been
to you?
talking.
Ghosted. Did I say anything to you?
What's going on? What's going on?
Drake
not
is
gonna lie.
the look.
Okay.
Drake just
That's
All
been
right,
not
all right,
Look,
hold on. Debate VC2.
The baby CT.
What continuity is this? What continuity?
Manga. I'll just do manga because I feel like it's more of a chance where we both have a chance at it.
All right, yeah, manga it is.
Hold on.
We'll do manga.
Versus.
Alrighty.
Also,
I'll go
let me-
first. if you
Alright.
want.
Hold on a second. I'm swapping onto my computer mic. I just need to tap on the thing.
Do your thing, homie. I saw you.
Like, Ghosted, before we start, like, is this the time to confess that you don't like minorities?
You know,
Yo, get him with that Mexican, bro.
Oh
Speak that
my
shit.
fucking
Yeah, yeah.
god! Stop!
No, hold
Jay
on.
finna slam you on your neck, Ghosted. Stop playing with him.
Okay.
Senpai,
Okay,
senpai,
okay, hold on.
senpai. I
Who
will
are the
fold
Be my
you
hype
again
man.
like I
don't
did
need you
last
to be
time.
my hype
You
man,
never
stupid
folded
bitch.
me a
Don't
day.
do this,
I got
senpai.
this one
Banned
day.
you.
Put on your neck, senpai.
How you struggle in June versus 17? Come on.
Oh my. Senpai's gonna body you after this.
Okay, because all of y'all kept talking over one another. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna ask who the judges are and what the burden of rejoinder limit is, and then once you say it, we're gonna start. No more yip yap. Okay? I'm unmuting y'all now.
I'm sorry, Mr. No Nigga.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
God.
Oh my
The
god.
judge. The
Oh my
judge.
god.
So
Oh
the
my
judge is
god.
D-balls.
I was
Okay,
about to talk shit till I just saw this
Okay,
nigga get
what's
booted.
the
Never
burden of
mind.
rejoinder limit? What's the burden of rejoinder limit?
10 minutes.
Okay.
5, not 10.
10.
Oh my
Five.
no!
Meet in the middle. Meet in the middle.
What if
Meet in the
I
middle.
gotta take
7.5
a
minutes.
Hold on,
7.5
I don't
minutes.
want to
I
be here
gotta
all
take an
day, but let's
extra
set it to
long
5
Bro,
minutes.
What if I gotta take an
bro.
extra long
Bro,
pace?
meet in the middle. Meet in the middle.
Fine. 7.
8.
Does that sound good?
Me,
No.
that's not the middle.
Judge,
Is it?
Seven
Oh my
and a half.
god, I
7 and a half.
somehow-
7.5.
Hey, alright, 7.5. Yes, 7.5.
Okay,
Alright.
cool. I agree.
Yeah, so you get 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
There
Okay.
you
I'm
go.
negotiating, nigga.
Okay,
Alright,
now
and
state
then-
your premise.
Alright. Hold on.
Okay, you can say your premise first, and then I'll just actually start off my thing.
Alright. My premise here is that Kid Buu just scales above Buuhan. That's my premise.
Okay, my premise is Buuhan just beats Kid Buu.
Okay. You want me to start off, or do you want to start first?
I'll go first.
Alright.
Before we go off, wait, we just skin. What do we send scans again?
Send it in the scans channel, I guess.
All right. Wait, VC scans or regular scans?
It's regular scans.
All right.
I don't think it matters.
First off, do you agree with the fact that like Kid Buu scales relative to like Super Saiyan 3 Goku?
Yeah.
All right. Do you believe Goku got stronger between like the Buuhan fight and Kid Buu?
Like in between, like you mean before he started fighting Kid Buu, or just like
So like from the start of like Buuhan, right, to the end with Kid Buu, do you believe Goku got stronger?
Yeah.
Okay. Prove that real quick.
Sure. Hold on a second. Get my
Because we already scaled that Super Saiyan 3 Goku that Kid Buu fights relative to one another, right? And I don't think Goku gets stronger. But
Let me get my...
I'll wait for you. Also, if you don't mind, are you just gonna use the argument like that, like the Zenkai shit?
Sorry to interrupt, but you
Yeah.
might want to post your scans in the scans channel, not in VC scans, because high five
Yeah.
of them are using VC scans.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
well, I was saying, yeah. I was gonna just use the argument that Saiyans get more powerful, like, as they fight. So the Goku that fought Kid Buu would progressively increase in weight.
Do you believe it's every single fight?
Like, yeah, just the more they fight, like, if it's, like, a strong opponent, sure, yeah.
No, I don't believe so. Are you aware, like, it's only, like, there when it's, like, stated? For example, I'll give you a scene where, like, somebody, like, a Saiyan fights a stronger opponent, they get fucked up, they get healed, and they're still the same strength. Are you aware like the Gohan versus Buu fight?
I'm not saying that it comes from just from surviving near death experience. I'm saying like in
Yeah,
the middle
I know
of
you're saying in every single fight, but I'm saying, right? Saiyans mainly get the Zenkai after experiencing near death experience, right? Better question, right? Do you believe like you would get a Zenkai more potent from almost dying or just having a little fight and you barely exerting any force?
I don't really think that would matter because Goku was exerting a lot of force against Kid
Okay,
Buu.
so wait, so you believe it'd be like equal? You'd be like, there's no really difference.
I don't think I can quantify a difference, so I don't know. I'm neutral on that.
Okay, no, but what I'm asking is, do you believe it'd still be there? Like they'd still get stronger?
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't change whether it's a normal fight or a near death experience.
It should be, yeah.
Should be normal. Okay, so I'm gonna give you Gohan having a near death experience and him literally not changing in power.
By Dende and he didn't increase in strength, right?
Yeah, so that doesn't change anything. So Gohan was back at like tip top shape. He was like health, stamina is all back, and he still didn't get his Zenkai.
I remember. Okay, what I'm gonna say to you is that wouldn't have to inherently contradict it, because the reason why I could interpret that as happening would be because of Gohan's specific transformation, which was the what is it called? Like ultimate or whatever it's called. The point is that transformation's that transformation's purpose was to let out all of Gohan's latent potential and just push it far beyond its limits. So at that point,
well, that's not true.
Why would it not be? Isn't that
so
what the king?
Because we literally see in Super he gets stronger.
Okay. Yeah, I know that would be because Super's raising the scales, and because the theme of Saiyans is that they're consistently doing things like breaking their limits and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. I'm not saying you're wrong about that, but what I'm saying is that would contradict the whole point of okay, this is his peak. Like he can't get any stronger, because if that was his peak and he couldn't get any stronger, he wouldn't be getting stronger in Super.
No, because the thing is, when the peak comes, in that moment, sure, he can't get stronger, but we've never really seen how in specific they've broken their limits, but from what we've seen in reason, it tends to be from like this huge rage boost, or it'll come from intense training and fighting like on par with huge sparring partners and stuff like that. And with that in mind, if you consider that, that could be the reason as to why, like, he kept breaking his limits. And here, he doesn't really have that. It's a one-sided beatdown from Buu that didn't really last too long. I think it was like one chapter. So there wouldn't be room for him to do things like have huge leaps in power or do something like surpass his limits.
I believe it would. So, well, the reason why I believe it would is because he had two fights. One fight with Super Buu, he didn't get stronger from there. And another fight with Buu, and he still didn't get stronger from there. And like you said it doesn't matter whether it's a near-death experience or a normal fight. A normal fight was him versus Super Buu. He fucked up Super Buu. He didn't get stronger. And then he got fucked up from Buu and still didn't get stronger. Also, you saying, it's because they break their limits, they fought strong opponents, decided this. Buu is a very strong opponent. Buu fucks him up. And I don't think it really matters because, again, I'm going to show you, right? With Vegeta, he gets fucked up from Frieza. Actually, no, better yet, he gets fucked up from Zarbon and Dodoria and all them, comes back, fucks him up. Same thing with Frieza. He gets fucked up by him, and then comes back and is able to be relative to first form Frieza. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're fighting a super strong opponent. That doesn't, like, neg the Zenkai. I don't know if you thought that, but it doesn't. It doesn't neg the Zenkai entirely. Well, they still get consistent. Even if you got your quote-unquote potential unleashed, they would still get the Zenkais. A Saiyan's thing has been very consistent with the fact that no matter what, their potential in getting stronger is never ending. It doesn't end. It doesn't stop. There's no like peak. There's no like limit that they take. Because again, like you said to yourself, if there ever is a quote unquote limit that they think they have, they always tend to break it. So that potential unleashed that he can't get any stronger gets contradicted later on.
Okay, so GHOZTED. Yeah, hold on. So when I was saying the thing about him fighting like opponents and stuff, and I said it wouldn't matter, what I meant was that when it's in comparison or in reference to a Zenkai boost or increasing from like an intense fight, either way or the other, no matter how you cut it, I was just saying I don't really think there's a way to quantify which is more significant. Now, with that in mind, if it's something like Gohan versus Super Buu in his base form, where like it's like Gohan isn't even getting scratched from the fight, I don't really think that that's gonna help him push more, because the thing is, the difference between something like sparring and something like fighting is that, for example, fighting is like just a serious, super intense spar. And if you have no rival in that spar that's really pushing you, then you have no real room to grow just from that. So I don't think that he would have to inherently grow from the fight with Super Buu. And even if you're going to assert that he didn't, then I could just argue that he could have because of the proof that Saiyans do increase as they... Or actually, no, scratch that, because I just realized what that meant. No, I'm just saying that it wouldn't have to inherently mean that. Because, like, you know, there's no room for him to grow from fighting somebody who's, like, 110%... Well, yeah, from being massively inferior to him, because you agree, like, Super Buu's way weaker than Gohan at this point, right?
That's Super Buu?
Like,
keep going with the point. Just keep going with the point. I'll answer all the questions later. I don't want to interrupt anymore.
Wait, if you have, like, a contention now, let's do that so we don't, like, have to, like, take turns addressing, like, 50 points back and forth.
No, I feel like it's... Are you... Wait, because I would say the contention is fine, but I'm asking, are you done? What the point?
Am I done?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Before I do you at least want, like, me to show you the scans that would, like, help you show, like, did Saiyans grow more in fights, or do you already, like, know of those scans?
So, okay, right? Again, because this is because you kind of fucked up in the beginning. If you're going by this logic, you are contradicting what you originally said with, how it doesn't matter whether it's a near-death experience or just a normal little fight.
No.
Like you said it yourself.
I explained to you. What I was saying is that when you asked me which one do I think is like more significant, I was saying I don't really know. I'm neutral. Like I don't.
Yeah, I know. You said your verbatim words is you can't quantify, so you couldn't say which one beats the other, right? So then I rebutted back with, okay. So would you just want to agree on the fact that it wouldn't matter? They would still gain a boost from it. You said, okay, yeah. So then we moved on to this, and then yeah.
Okay, if that's what I meant, I misconstrued. What I meant was I was speaking generally in the context of the Saiyans, but when it came to this specific instance with Gohan, I was saying that because the Elder Kai, and this is supported by Guy, specifically stated that what this transformation does is it brings him to his limits, and then, like, even further beyond that, since he's already at his peak at this moment, and he hasn't broken that peak by some other, like, spectacular reason like Saiyans normally do, then that could explain why he didn't do this. I'm not trying... So keep this in mind, okay? I'm not trying to assert that this way that I'm interpreting to you is more correct in that sense than the way that you are, but you are the one that is, like, asserting this. I'm just trying to give you equal interpretation. You can take it or leave it, but that would be what I'd say to you. And as for the part where you said it gets contradicted later on, that's where I fill it out with the explanation I just gave to you, that, like, you know, Saiyans have the limit, and then they can progressively break it by other means, including since Super does things like massively amp the scales of the characters by making them jump from, like, I don't know, fucking multi-galaxy to, like, 4D tiers or whatever.
Okay, so my rebuttal to that, right? I understand what you're saying, right? But I'm not asserting... Okay, wait, let me check that. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm asserting is, right, I feel like mine would be a more valuable argument simply for the fact that I have more proof containing, the things that I'm saying. Unlike you, that you're kind of... It feels like... No, I'm not trying to assert anything, but it kind of just feels like you're making some sort of headcanon in a way, saying, well, like, oh, well, in this specific point, Gohan wouldn't have this because his limit breeding, his peak is already, like, drawn out. Like, all those powers already run forth. But then we just talked about how the Saiyans kind of, like, grew in power and all that, and how they don't necessarily have a limit. I'm pretty sure if somebody knows what I'm talking about, there's, like, a whole statement that Vegeta states that Saiyans have, like, a bottomless pit of potential. There is no limit that you're trying to make at. You know what I mean? There's no, point that they stop at and then they break it, or another point that they stop at and break it. No. There's just continuous amounts.
I disagree. Okay, so before I get to that, I don't know if you realize, but you did make an assertion. What you said was that it gets contradicted. The word contradicted is very heavy. When you are saying that something is contradicted, what you're doing is you're asserting that whatever these two opposing factors are, you're saying it's impossible for them to coexist under any circumstance. You're saying...
Well, no, hold on. Wait, because I think you're taking out what I said out of context. The reason why I mentioned the fact that it would be contradictory is because I'm going by your logic, right? Let's say if Gohan, right, where this was his limit, right? I was going on the fact that it would make no sense, because why would this be his exact limit and Super contradicts it? That's the point I'm at. I'm saying it was never like that. I'm never saying this was like... My whole point is Gohan never had a limit.
Yeah, I can explain that. I was going to address that, okay? So, but like I was going to explain first, like the heavy understanding of the word that you use, which was that you're saying that these two factors here, in a sense, when you just even without this debate, right? If you're ever debating somebody and you assert that something is a contradiction, you're asserting that this factor A and this factor B cannot coexist under any circumstances. It's impossible. Like there's a 0% chance of it happening, right? So if I give you an alternative that fills it out, even if I'm neutral, and if I give you that, that would help me open the door to say that it's not contradicted if I can give you this, and I'm gonna give you the middle stance, okay? So let me add on to what I said so you can further get it, okay? So yes, Vegeta did say Saiyans have a bottomless pit, right? But then after that, as we proceed like into Super, if anybody has the scan, I'd appreciate it. When Vegeta and Goku, tell me if you remember this, when Vegeta and Goku, right before they like got out of the time chamber to go to like the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament, Vegeta is with Goku and he's like, we're like reaching near the limits of our power. Like we're already near our max. And I'm pretty sure Goku said the same thing to Gohan all the way back in the Cell Saga. And like in that time, in that sense, at least, they didn't grow until like we see them break their limits again in the Buu Saga. And with that in mind, this is also a narrative theme that we see within the Tournament of Power, where Vegeta sums up everything that Saiyans are always constantly breaking their limits and stuff like that. So what I'd be saying to you is that this wouldn't have to, inherently speaking, it wouldn't have to, I'm not asserting it, but I'm saying it wouldn't have to contradict it.
If you don't mind, originally, if you don't mind, send me the thing where the Vegeta states like we're at our limit.
Alright, sure. If anybody has that on them, I'd appreciate it, but I'm gonna like pull it up. Huh?
I have it. Hold on.
Alright, I appreciate it. But yeah, just so you know, like when he sends the scan, I was gonna finish up my point. I was almost done. Then you can like rebuttal. But I found it anyway.
Oh, you found it? All right. Where are you sending in scans?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me go to scans. Let's see. Okay. So you see, you can ignore the first two. It's at the bottom. Like it's what Vegeta says. You see it?
Hold on.
It's like not showing on my screen.
But it's loading for me.
Okay. So my Discord's retarded. Fuck.
Well, why couldn't this just be going? Wait, this is when they're going to the hyperbolic time chamber, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. This is when they were going.
Yeah. Why couldn't this just be them talking about what they can produce by themselves? So you are aware. Okay. So I'll explain what I mean by that. You are aware of the fact that when they mean like the bottomless limits of what they can do. This is right from the limits and the strength, right? This literally is contradicted again when we train them, because I'm pretty sure they say something similar to that at like what's it called in like Battle of Guys, like, oh wait, I never knew somebody was this strong. I thought I already reached my peak. Something like along the lines of like when they meet Beerus. This is just going on the fact of what they can, like what they know they can do, right? So better explaining it, right? They think what Vegeta's trying to get at here. Vegeta's going on the lines of what they can produce on themselves with just fighting each other. That would be their limit. Like they can't do any more from that. They would gain nothing from it. And if they do gain anything, it wouldn't be a significant amount that they're reaching for. That's why they're saying, well, there's no point of just training in the hyperbolic time chamber, because our strength, yeah, it would grow, but again, it would be just pointless. Because again, this because with this fucking scan that you sent, it would just be contradicting Vegeta's whole statement in the beginning that we already agreed to is true. So that would make no sense. I would just go on the fact that Vegeta's mainly talking about the fact of them training together for another 3 years. It would be pointless because they would gain nothing from it, or nothing, that they're actually hoping to get from it. It would be so small to the point where it wouldn't matter.
Instead of addressing that, I can also show you that he said it like at the beginning in the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament when they were in the hyperbolic time chamber to show you. You want me to show you that as well? I'm gonna have to.
Oh yeah, show that.
Okay. Does anybody know the episode when they were like in the hyperbolic time chamber?
Again, wait. Say if they see the same thing there, I could just go on that too.
Okay, so you want to go off of that then? Okay, sure. So
just send the Universe 6 thing, and then I'll go on that too. Because the point I'm getting at is they would just be referring to the fact that they themselves fighting each other wouldn't be able to produce like anything from it. Because we know, okay, right? Would you agree on the fact that it'll be a difference in power and increase from them going from just training each other rather than we training them.
Like
Because that's the point I'm making. I'm saying like, let me know if I'm tripping, right? Because we know in the beginning of like Battle of Gods and shit like that, even in the anime and Super, right? Goku's, kind of stuck at Super Saiyan 3. That wouldn't be his limit necessarily. That's as far as he can go by himself. And then Whis makes the statement, I'm pretty sure, that like he has a bunch of power that he can tap into. He just has to train more, yada 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 yada. Because like that's been like the consistent narrative in Super, right? To get stronger, get really strong, get super strong, right? So the point I'm getting at is, right, they would just be hinting at the fact that they themselves training for 3 years in the hyperbaric time period fighting each other would do nothing. Instead, comparing it to like, oh, if they were to train with Whis, right? Because we know this in the beginning of Super. Instead of just them training with themselves, they would rather train with Whis. Why? Because Whis is a stronger teacher who could teach them more about and get them stronger, right? It wouldn't necessarily be like, okay, don't you think, right? Don't you think? If they were at a limit, why would they go with Whis? Why would they be like, okay, this guy could teach me how to get stronger. This guy could teach me how to surpass what I could do now. If they're like, I can't do anymore. I'm already at my peak.
I get what you're saying. Wait, are you done? I don't want to like interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. You can go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so with that in mind, that is, I'm gonna tell you this. That's also another fair interpretation. But then once again, you asserted even here that it was contradicted. The problem isn't with your interpretation, and the problem also isn't with mine. The problem here is it goes all the way back to what you said earlier, and you even said again that it's contradicted. You have this interpretation, I have this one, except by your interpretation standards, mine is impossible to be true. So in that sense, if I give it to you and it's equal, unless you can disprove the other one, because yours is you built up a nice argument here, it's a fair one, but I still think you would need to disprove mine before that would really help me lose the point here, because I still think that it's still fair interpretation. So what you're giving me still isn't a contradiction and still could explain what you've asserted in another way besides the one that you gave me.
Right, okay, so, because I believe this is going to be like, oh, he say, she say, or like, oh, you go, I go, right, back and forth. So, do you want just let judges go on this and we can go into another point?
Yeah. You want to conclude first, or you want me to?
Oh, you can conclude, homie. That's right.
Okay. I feel that I won the point because the problem was that when my debate opponent here, Ghosted, asserted that this was a contradiction, I gave him another explanation as to why this wouldn't have to inherently be a contradiction, and I gave examples in the manga that could build up to the interpretation I was giving, and I don't feel that he ever disproved that as much as he gave equal interpretation to his, which wouldn't really still attack what I was saying, that this isn't a contradiction, inherently speaking.
My conclusion is I feel like I won this simply because of the fact that he's saying that I said it was a contradiction when I was just going on his logic, mainly like the consistent contradiction. I was going by his logic of the fact that if Saiyans always got a Zenkai boost every single time they fight, it would have gotten contradicted in this exact fight with Buu, Tinks, and Gohan, which I don't think there ever was a limit that they always had, especially not in Z. I'm saying the fact that not every single fight gives them a Zenkai boost. Right, that was kind of the consistency that I was going at. I don't think my opponent rebutted my Gohan scan that I sent of him being healed up perfectly by Dende, and Buu Tanks himself states he is still at the same exact strength as before. Like, yeah, that's all. All right, so we can go to the next point, homie. And do you just want judges to say the result of this, or do you want to say it all at the end?
You want to just? I think we should say it all at the end.
Okay, so
all right. You want to go into mine, or did you have another point that you wanted?
Yeah, another one was, are you aware of the fact that like, okay, you already agreed that Goku and what's it called? Them are equal. All right. Are you aware of the fact that
like relative? I said relative, not equal.
Oh, sorry, my fault. Okay, you're aware that like power diminishes with every digression that they have?
Okay. So is this supposed to be to like prove that base Super Buu or whatever is stronger than Kid Buu?
No, this is just this kind of a thing on anti-fear, right? So if
I'm familiar with this, I know the context. Okay.
No, I'm not saying like the context thing. I'm saying the point of like me sending this. This wouldn't inherently be saying, oh, like Super Buu is stronger than Kid Buu. This would me be saying that if Kid Buu was stronger than Buuhan, these like would make no sense. And I'm saying like the fact that these statements contradict that whole Kid Buu being above Buuhan.
Okay, so let me show you the like full translation because the full translation actually explains this part. Let me show you. Hold on. I'm in so many servers. I need to find where I just went. All right, here I found it. Okay. So I'll start with the El Manga Legendario first before like I go to the Dragon Ball Forever. Is that cool with you? Yeah. Okay. So look. So if you look after this sentence of Buu diminishing in power, it follows up on that by then saying Goku and the rest took advantage of that moment to escape the body of Buu. So what it's saying is that so here's what it's saying. It's saying that once Vegeta like rips out that like cord that holds the fat Buu, then after that, Buu's power diminishes, and in that moment where his power diminishes, Goku and Vegeta take that chance to like escape Super Buu's body. So it's referring to his power diminishing just within that moment of when they pulled the tug on the cord, right? And with that in mind, that can give me an interpretation that the Dragon Ball Forever could also fall under that wouldn't have to inherently mean that he's weaker than Buuhan, and that would be that just in that moment, maybe because they like because like perhaps they tugged on the cord and that forced Super Buu to go through this like huge reversion in his body that puts him in a vulnerable place to where he's more vulnerable to things like attacking and stuff like that, because what it's specifically saying is that he's weakened in that moment, and if you keep in mind what happens after that, after they get out of his body, his ki starts to increase. So there are two conclusions that I can logically make from this. Conclusion one would be that it's just in that moment and when right before he starts to transform into Buff Buu, or two is it would just be contradicted. I'm not asserting this is the correct one. I'm just giving you another conclusion that this is contradicted by what we see within the manga. If you want the scan, I can show you, but then his ki starts to spike up right after this.
Yeah, it's fine. That's not when Kid Buu's introduced. So the point I'm getting at is, right, I just say, okay, are you aware like Kid Buu's like the like, kind of the pure form, right? The base of all this.
The
right? You agree
form,
with that, right?
Yeah, he started before anybody else.
Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah, I know Kid Buu starts before base Super Buu and Buuhan and everybody. He's the first
Hold
form
on.
of
Give me like a second. You can do the button regenerate thing like right now. Just give me a second.
Alright.
Wow. That was pretty good. I can't tie.
I'm back. All right. So the point I was getting at was, are you aware of like Buu's kind of like the base and all this, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you would be like you would like agree with the fact that like he wouldn't necessarily be like the base form of all this.
Kid Buu?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's the he's the original form. He comes before all the others.
Right.
So yeah, sure. I guess
you believe like, for example, like his absorptions make him stronger and all that.
Not always.
Always, right?
Yeah, not always.
Not always, right? But it has to be specifically stated whether it is, right?
Why would it have to be specifically stated?
Because why would you make the assertion that he got weaker from it when there's no indication or statement from it?
So, do you know are you familiar with the logical dilemma that an absence of evidence isn't an evidence of absence? Just because something isn't verbatim stated doesn't have to mean it's the case. I'm not asserting it is the case, but I'm just saying it wouldn't have to inherently be the case.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Are you asserting that if there's no statement at all from saying like, okay, Buu is weaker or an implication, anything like that Buu is weaker, that wouldn't be that he's like stronger?
Where would you... I'm going to steal in this for now. Like, where would you be going with this?
The point I'm going with this is, right, because we already agreed on the fact that, like, Kid Buu would be the base of all this. He grows into, from the absorptions from, like, Super Buu, and then grows into Buuhan also, which would be stronger than, you know, that'd kind of be, like, the transformation he gains from all this.
I get what you... So are you, like, saying that there's no way for Kid Buu to logically be the strongest?
Yes. Also, just, like, statements support all this.
Okay, so I can give you about 3 ways to explain this. I'll go with first. I'll just give you 3 ways. If you want to like interrupt me at any moment, like if you disagree or something, you can. First, I'm gonna go with the narrative way, and then after that, I'm gonna go with like the in the story way. Is that cool with you?
You can go. Yeah.
Okay, let me get this. Okay. So first, I'm gonna go after the narrative. So if you look at this interview here from Toriyama, the like upper half is like the purple, and you can forget about all of that, or no, don't forget about it's important, but like also the bottom half. This is what he's saying, that in most parts of Dragon Ball, the strongest, like, cutest looking one, that's like the smallest, the smallest and cutest looking one tends to be the most powerful. And then when you look at Toriyama's response, it goes perfectly with the narrative of as to why Kid Buu would be stronger than Buuhan using your logic, right? I want to go against people's...
wait. Are you saying like Frieza or like Perfect Cell would abide by that cutest thing? Because with that logic, Cell would be cute.
What'd you say? It was cutting
so
you
that
out?
works.
It was cutting you
So
out.
okay, with that logic, right? Cell's embryo is the smallest and the cutest one. So why didn't you say that was like the like? Would you say that was the cutest one? So he'd be the strongest. See how that logic makes flawed? Or another one, right? You could literally just say like, oh, Fat Boo would be the cutest one because he's like the cutest one out of all the bunch.
Small is the other word.
Small is the other. Okay, so Cell's
Small
embryo or Cell Juniors would be stronger than fucking Cell or some shit like that.
Okay.
Well, not Cell Juniors. Mainly say like Cell is embryo.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna show it to you. Okay. What I first off is with the Frieza example. I'll go first, then the Cell one. When it comes to Frieza narratively, if you look at the transformation, it's gonna. I'll explain the narrative first so I can counter that. What Toriyama says here is that he wants to tell an unconventional and contradictory story, as well as tell a straightforward one. And what you just said kind of fits, right? When you look at Frieza, for example, first you see Frieza as the first form Frieza as a small, cute-looking form. Then, as he transforms into his stronger forms, he starts to get bigger and bulkier and more powerful. And then, after the third form, when he's about to power up one more time, you expect something even larger. But instead, what you get is a small, cute, final form Frieza. And then with Cell, once again, Cell is first in the imperfect Cell, where he's like super thin. Then he gets bigger and bulkier as semi-perfect Cell.
Why wouldn't this go by with Frieza also again? Why wouldn't his first form be the strongest? He's the smallest and the cutest one.
I don't know if the first form is smaller than the final form, but I was saying to you that like this narrative would still fit in the sense that like he creates the conventional. Let me show you how. Look, he creates the conventional the storytelling method by showing a consistent pattern that the stronger you get, the bigger you get, and then after that comes the unconventional and contradictory story method, which is then the final form is suddenly the weakest one.
Sorry for interrupting you. Hold on, give me a second again. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
Damn, everyone in the chat is killing one another.
Why is Senpai server muted? He's in debate VC1.
Hold on. I think E2B or Highfather keeps muting him.
What the hell's going on in VC?
That's a debate.
Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah. Oh, what's happening at VC? Slash.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry. So, what I was getting at is the fact that I feel like from with that, narratively, that make no sense. So there's a bunch of small forms that are not stated to be the strongest. Same with Frieza's like first form or Cell's embryo form. There's like a bunch of stuff that wouldn't correlate to that.
Yeah, I know. I just gave you a way for it to make sense. I told you.
I know.
Look,
I understand what you're going because you did tell me you were going for the narrative and the story way, and I'm saying this narrative way would not make sense.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, I'm giving you ways for the narrative ways to make sense, in which I'll like he's giving first the consistent conventional storytelling.
Sorry to interrupt, but who keeps server muting Senpai?
I do. He was interrupting our debate.
Take this to Demon Time.
Highfather.
No, hold on, Highfather. Don't just ask me and I'll do it.
Why not? He was
Bro,
giving
take
outside
this
help.
to another VC. We're on a timer.
Okay.
Okay. So I was saying, first he sets up the conventional storytelling method, which is Frieza consistently gets bigger and bulkier as he gets stronger. Then, at that final moment, you get that contradictory story method. And then the same thing with Cell. He's thin at first in his imperfect form, then he gets bigger and bulkier in his semi-perfect Cell. Then when he becomes perfect Cell again, Vegeta notes that Cell got smaller, and he's like surprised by it. So, with Kid Buu, if I draw that too, because other cases, this isn't always the case, but he says in several parts, so it could be in Kid Buu's case, I'm just applying a way for it too. In Kid Buu's part, if you paid attention to the story closely, you'll notice that throughout the entirety of the Super Buu era, you realize that the more absorptions that he gains, the more power that he also gains. So the perfect way to escape that paradigm would be by making the guy who has absolutely zero absorptions the strongest. That would be one way that it would, narratively speaking, make sense for the base form to be stronger than the fuse form. Well, not the form, but like the person. That would be one way, at least. I can give the other ones, but I want to give you, if you want to like rebuttal that first, you can. But like, or do you want me to just keep going, Ghosted?
So no, the first couple points, because I wanted to let you kind of go do your thing for a bit.
Oh, okay.
My other rebuttals, I want to start by with are we? Oh no, yeah, we agreed to judge with that one. So again, that story thing, are we done with that? We're done with the story thing, right?
I was gonna give you the in lore like reason as well.
Right, and I'm saying both of those, they kind of just don't make any sense. And obviously, I just don't see how they would make sense at all. Again, I already gave you the reasons why.
Yeah, I already.
Right, because like even with the Frieza thing, right? Let's say with the Frieza thing, Toriyama, I don't think. Let's read this, right? I wanted to go against people's expectations. The strong ones always get stronger and bigger. I can just try to make between telling a straightforward story and telling one that was unconventional and contradictory, right? So what you're saying with this, like the smaller, the cuter the opponent is, the stronger he is, like against everybody else, right? Because like his other forms, obviously.
In most cases, yeah, the smaller.
In most cases, right? And I'm saying why that wouldn't make sense, right? Frieza's like first form, smallest and cutest. Frieza's final form.
You want to go into like judgment on this, because I feel like we're gonna go into ad nauseum.
Yeah, we can. I was just making the fact that I just don't.
Yeah, I get your.
You can do a conclusion on me. You can go.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right.
Yeah, you could just say your point on this one, and then you just let us.
Okay, so my opponent asserted that it doesn't make sense. So basically, that it would my opponent asserted that it doesn't make sense for this narrative that Toriyama was conveying here in this interview to be the case. Now, yes, it wouldn't make sense if we just look at it from the perspective of the first form to the final form, but I gave a way that this can make sense by comparing first every form all the way to the last, and then I drew that line to Kid Buu as a possible way to explain why Kid Buu would be stronger than the fuse form, despite being like the base. That would be why. You can go ahead, Ghosted.
All right, homie. So with this, right? This whole like the interview that he's saying with the lore and like the narrative of like consistency, I don't believe this would make sense because two things mainly. One, I feel like it'd be mainly subjective. Two, I feel like it wouldn't make sense at all simply for the fact that there's multiple forms that are smaller than the final form, the strongest form, quote unquote, that are smaller and quote unquote cuter than the actual final form, right? So I feel like it's not consistent enough for us to like take this and be like, okay, this is the absolute truth, or okay, this is like the more right than what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, we could just go to judges on this one. So another point that I wanted to make by just in case we're because kind of a continuation of like the Buuhan and not Buuhan, the Buu tanks and Buuhan thing.
I still had two more ways to explain it.
Homie, why didn't you say that before we went to conclusions of the show?
Yeah, I was saying I thought we were going to conclusions for just this way of like explaining the possibility. I said I had a few ways to do it, and I was going to give you the narrative one first. I thought we were giving conclusions.
Oh, I thought you did the story one too. My fault. You can go again.
No. Okay. All right.
Good thing.
That was a misunderstanding. It's cool. Okay. So the other way would be are you familiar with the components of Ki?
Explain it.
If anybody has the scans, I'd appreciate it. I can find it on my own as well for a bit. It would be that it's made up of a few things. Energy, courage, and then Shoki, which can come out to your true character. And in this sense, Buuhan is not just Kid Buu. He's being influenced, in a sense, by all of the other, like, absorptions that he has. like he's being influenced by all of the other absorptions that he has as well, and because of that, Kid Buu is the original form, which doesn't have that factor of influence from all
I don't believe so.
other external sources. So he would be.
I believe Super Boo's true form stays very consistent since. I believe sorry. I believe Super Boo's true form is obviously his own character. I believe it stays very consistent throughout the entirety of like his character. You never see, like, for example, Buuhan not gonna kill somebody because of Gohan's quote unquote pure heartedness, or you never see really you wouldn't say also he's cocky because of Buu Tank's thing. No, because that's very consistent. He's always been like a cocky person. I don't think there's ever a consistent change where Super Boo's character has stopped from him absorbing somebody else.
I have two examples. One would be when base Super Buu came out and he didn't want to kill Mr. Satan, and then the other one is when the Fat Buu was fighting Kid Buu, was inside of Kid Buu.
I have that one because I knew you were gonna say that. So, but that one, right? The only reason why he didn't kill for Mr. Satan is because he just didn't care for him, right? Because he even goes up to him, he scares him. He's like, "Oh, it's just Hercule," and he walks away. And then even with the same thing with Kid Buu, right? Because with Kid Buu, it's more like an actual change, right? With Kid Buu, you clearly see like it's taking an influence on him because Kid Buu wants to kill Hercule. And he's like, no. He's like fighting himself over it and then spits out Buu and just punches the shit out of Hercule and doesn't even kill Hercule. So this is obviously a very consistent showing that they just don't give a fuck about Hercule. The only time it's genuinely shown where it actually has an influence on a person is when it's Kid Buu. Kid Buu genuinely shows like struggling because of Fat Buu. With Fat Buu and Super Buu, they're kind of like they need one another Super Buu needs Fat Buu. So you know what I mean? It kind of like it's no actual like him fighting it off. No. He just sees Hercule, he's like, "Oh, you're Hercule," and walks away. With Kid Buu, it's a genuine struggle. That's what I'm saying. That wouldn't make any sense. Wouldn't be like, okay, Super Buu goes crazy because of Boo's changing his whole outlook. No, I just say Super Boo's smart as fuck. Like he's an idiot, not smart as fuck. He just is an idiot like the other Boos. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna gain nothing from killing you, so might as well keep going. Like you're weak.
I'm sorry to like interrupt you. I want to go back to what you said earlier about like oh it's just Satan, like that he didn't care. I just looked up the panel. And from what we're seeing here, he looks like he's more than happy to go right after Satan. Then, when he realizes that it's him, he has like this exclamation mark in his face, like scrunches up, and there's like clear conflict that's showing on his face. Then he just leaves.
I don't believe so. So with that, right? Again, I'd say he's going around fighting everybody else. He rushes the first person he sees. He sees Mr. Satan, and then he's just like, okay, I'm gonna just leave now.
But okay, so why wouldn't he care? Like if it was Satan,
why would he? Okay, give me a reason. Why would he care?
I don't. The reason would be that when Piccolo, when he's on the Dende's lookout or whatever, he has no problem shooting ki blasts that literally attempt to kill every single human. So
are you aware that's just to piss off the people that are quote unquote supposed to be able to kill him?
Yes, but I'm saying to you that would show that he has interest in killing other people.
No, so think about it like this, right? If I want to piss you off and I shoot a person right in front of you that you care mostly about, right, as your loved one, clearly I'm trying to get a reaction out of you, right? It would be different whether nobody else is around. I see this random ass person, I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about you. Why would you care? You don't know I'm doing anything. You don't know, right? Okay, so it'd be more of a difference because, for example, like Super Buu in the narrative, right? They're like, yo, these people are gonna kill you. You can't do shit about it. You're not gonna be able to do shit, right? He was like, all right, I'm gonna piss y'all off. See what y'all can do. I want y'all to kill me. Show me. He kills everybody that they know, kills everybody that they love, turns them bitches into candy and chocolate and eggs, and he's like, yeah, you can't do shit. I'm gonna keep doing this until y'all get pissed off and try to kill me. I'm waiting. And then when nobody else is around, he's like, yeah, I don't care. You're just Hercule. Like, what am I gonna do with you? Like he rushes, he thinks it's somebody, he rushes them, he sees Hercule, he's like, all right, just walk away. Especially how he sees Hercule being a pussy. Kid Buu's whole thing is if he sees a strong opponent, he will fight somebody. If he doesn't see anybody worth fighting, why would he fight? It makes no sense.
Okay, so you see with Super Buu, once again, the thing is here, so you'd be saying he only really does this to like strong opponents, right?
I'm saying that's just one of the things he does. Like that's one of his little traits. He likes fighting strong people. If there's no strong person around, there's no need to fight.
Okay, so you know that like Mr. Satan is weak as fuck. Like he can't. I don't even think the guy could sense Mr. Satan's ki, and this Buu can sense ki, and yet he seemed delighted to rush right at Satan when he saw him initially upon confrontation.
Again, I just say this is just him going crazy, trying to kill anybody he sees, and then he stops. He's like, "Oh."
But no, but you said it's only something that he does like exclusively to stronger opponents. Like,
no, I didn't. What I said was one of his traits is he likes fighting strong people. If there's no strong people to fight, he wouldn't fight. Hence,
but he's fighting here.
Nobody strong. No, he isn't. He rushes
Satan, sees Satan.
He intends to. So listen. He fights Satan, sees Satan, walks away. Now he doesn't even fight. He just rushes him. He sees that it's nobody, and he's like, "Oh, okay, never mind then." Like, it's very consistent throughout it.
Okay, so yeah, and I'm saying to you, because right before this, they're like shooting automatics at him, and the guy like laughs at them, and then he just kills them anyway, and then he rushes off to Satan. None of these guys are strong opponents, so in that sense, were you using Crimson scans?
Was I using Crimson scans? What are you talking about?
Like, were you? Oh no, I thought you were bringing it up for your point. I just realized it's just something entirely separate. Yeah. So what I was saying was that with the other guys, yeah, none of them were strong. Even the people shooting at him, yet he still had no contentions with rushing right at them and like fucking them up. So I don't really think that this is just something that he just has to inherently have exclusive to other people. He can also be doing.
Wait. Are you saying the thing with like Fat Buu?
No. I'm talking about. You remember, like, right before, like, he became base Super Buu, or when they shot the dog and the Gray Buu comes and absorbs them.
I just say Evil Buu and Super Buu are.
No. Base Super Buu did it. I was just like summing it up so you can get to where I was talking about. I'll show you the scans. He did it to the people.
Okay, show me that.
Yeah, hold on.
And also, why wouldn't it just be the fact that they try to hurt him, so he obviously defended?
He's defending himself against them.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be that?
Are they?
Think about it like this. They go like this. They go like this. Why wouldn't it be that normally Kid Buu, or not Kid Buu, normally Super Buu just doesn't give a fuck about that, but he gets annoyed at them shooting him, so he kills them.
He doesn't look annoyed at all here. He's laughing at them. Look, I'm showing you the. Listen, I'm showing you the thing. So in the first one, they shoot at him. He just looks at them. Then in the second panel, he just laughs at them. And then after that,
as he goes into the body and destroys it.
No. In the first one, he's not moving. He's like still passive. He's just laughing back and forth.
Okay, homie. Look at the entire panel. He's laughing, bobbing his head back and forth as he rushes them. I know you're talking about the top right, but you're literally ignoring the entirety of the rest. He does that and immediately rushes after him and implodes the body.
But you're saying that he's defending himself when he has no reason to defend himself because there's not a physical threat to him at all, and he isn't shown to really be like.
No. Okay, the reason why I said defending himself, right? You can take that as whatever you want. The main point is he killed them because they shot him. That's it. They annoyed him. He visibly shows annoyance.
Okay, so so you're saying that the only reason that he did this was because they shot at him, correct?
No, I'm just saying they annoyed him. That's it.
So logically speaking, so you're saying that they only did this because he annoyed him, right? You're saying that's the only reason why he did it?
He killed them and because they annoyed him.
So why did he rush at Mr. Satan? Mr. Satan wasn't annoying him.
Again, okay. Wait. Question. Was the panel that you originally sent, was that after he does a little killing human shit?
This is like, I think, the next page after.
Hold on. I mean, which chapter is this, if you don't mind me asking? Because this is really going to help the point that I'm trying to get at here.
In DBZ, it's 292. If you want like a link on the page, I'm going to just send you a link. Look.
292.
Look and just scan.
No, I got it.
Oh, you did?
On the page. Okay, yeah, I'm on the page.
May I ask
292.
Like, what's the opponent trying to prove with this point?
We're going on like the point of his true character.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I don't know who the fuck just asked that. Sorry.
It was so.
Wait, you're talking about the one with Satan, right?
Yeah. Like I think right after he like rushes at them.
Okay, yeah, this isn't okay. He goes around killing everybody that was shooting him, which is the original guy. He sees somebody else. Goes after. Now, would you agree on the fact that, because you said originally, oh whoa, Mr. Satan barely has ki, like he wouldn't be able to sense him. He's so weak. Why would he attack him? This doesn't exclude the point I was saying. They annoyed him. He was going after everybody he saw that shot him. He saw a person behind him, rushes after him, and then notes it's just Mr. Satan. He's like, okay, I don't care for you. and he just walks away.
Yeah, I know, but your assertion is that this is something that he really only does normally, like to people who annoy him or like get under his skin. So the only logical reason that he has to go after anybody would be for the guys who shot at him, but then he proceeds to like go after Hercule.
Okay. You're kind of ignoring what I'm saying.
I know your
point. Okay. If you know what I'm saying, right? Okay, I'm saying it one more time, right? He kills everybody that was attacking him. He sees somebody behind him, rushes them, stops, notes it wasn't the person that was shooting at him, ignores Hercule, and just runs away. Just flies away, does something else.
He doesn't. He takes a long pause and just.
He takes a long pause, says Hercule, and then walks away. Not walks away, flies away laughing.
But look at his face here. Does this look like a face of a guy who doesn't? His face is scrunched up, and he's like saying.
I just say that's the visible showing of him saying Hercule. That's it. We know the Boos have trouble speaking. That's just him like fucking blurting out the word Hercule. Even in the text, it visibly shown he's not saying the word like fully in like one single word. He has to like cut them in half.
Yeah, that could show inner conflict, which would narratively be.
I don't believe so.
Right
we know how the inner conflict is with Kid Buu. That is visibly shown right in this one.
No, with Kid Buu, what we see is that he attempts to harm Hercule and he can't. Super Buu doesn't even try.
Okay, wait a minute. You just said Super Buu was trying to harm Hercule.
No.
Why didn't he have that same conflict? He just has the realization that it's Hercule. He's like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
No, he had intentions to. Not that he did try. He was going to. Like, he had intentions.
No, you're saying he did. You're saying
that.
He rushed at him trying to attack him.
Okay, well, if I did that, I misconstrued my words. What I meant was that he was going to go after Hercule with malicious intent. His intent was to harm him.
Exactly. So if his intent was to harm him, why didn't why didn't he have the same reaction that Kid Buu had when he tried to harm Hercule?
You mean when he spit out Fat Buu?
No, when Kid Buu was visibly shown like in pain because Fat Buu didn't want. You want me to give you the panel?
I remember what you're talking about. That was because right after the Fat Buu spit him out.
If you don't mind, can somebody send the panel real quick? Just I know you said you know what I'm talking about. Just for somebody has it.
Because like, all right, in that time when they're getting it, like I could just interpret that as the reason why is because he's about to like literally spit out an entire human being that's coming out of his mouth. Like he could have been like gagging on.
I don't believe so. There's so many things you would have to prove by just that, and I don't believe the reason why he's going through such a struggle is because he has to spit out that. I don't believe so.
What would I have to prove? It's just another interpretation.
Okay, no, I'm saying with that interpretation, if you were going with that, you would have to prove it. Right, a bunch of shit with that, and I'm saying it wouldn't make sense. That's what my interpretation would be more valid.
What would I have to prove?
What would you have to prove? You would really have to prove that the whole point that he's struggling and all that isn't because they're having the whole little back and forth in his mind, was just because he was trying to spit him out. Because I'll give you the panel when he actually does spit him out. He is perfectly fine.
Food stuck in your mouth. If you have a piece of food stuck in your mouth and you're like gagging on it, like I don't know about you, but when I choke on water or I'm about to throw up or something, I my body starts to act in very weird ways. Okay, that came off wrong. I meant that's not what I meant. I meant that like I scrunch up and I do stuff. Like I'm not just passively standing there while I'm about to throw up or anything. Hello? Can you hear me?
Ghosted.
It's all good. I'm gonna just wait for him to come back. Probably got a call or something. Oh, Arrow's in here?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Alright, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Did you get a call?
Alright, where'd I stop at?
I was talking. I said that whenever I have to like throw up or like there's a piece of my food.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what I'm saying is, right, because that part I heard, I don't fucking go crazy. I don't go. Oh my god, I got a piece of fucking tail on my.
Continuing this point.
I don't believe I do that shit. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. Right, I do not believe that just because there's something in your mouth, you would have a fucking whole head injury, going crazy, going back and forth, screaming and yelping in pain. No.
No, but there's an entire human being coming out of his body, and in
no,
the
it
same
isn't.
way
No,
that,
it isn't. When he spits out Buu, it's like a piece of gum.
well, yeah, I meant like it's an entirely new entity, not human being. But like, either, like,
Also,
like,
why would it be okay? Think about it like this: when you're about to, like, say you're about to throw food. Let me use that analogy. Do you hold your head in pain and scream?
Kind of like arch over, like because I'm about to throw up.
Dre, I'm gonna ask you this again. When you're about to throw up, let's say you're eating some food, going crazy, going on that bitch, going crazy.
Okay,
when you're about to throw it up, do you grab your head in pain and yell?
No,
fucking crazy.
No. Listen, no. I don't do that. I don't do like all this extra shit. But the thing is that whenever like any form of Buu like undergoes like a change in their body or like loses an absorption or something, they do shit like this. Like when Buu Tanks reverted into Buikolo, this man like completely like did like a full crunch up or something.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
To you. Like,
I'm just gonna put in the video that part of it got cut out. Like, what happened?
What do you mean? What happened?
After that, wait, Cell, you haven't been listening. After that, they talked about the absorptions on how it affected Kid Buu and how it could like fuck them up,
Actually, no,
and how like losing those absorptions would have made them stronger.
Just explain to the viewers to some of what they missed.
Okay, all y'all missed is they talked about absorption's effect on the Buus, and the homie Dre was saying that like due to like the three components of ki, which is like mind, body, and spirit, if I'm recalling correctly. And since Buu's mind would have been fucked up, he wouldn't have had all the components correctly like honed. Therefore, he would be weaker in this interpretation from the absorptions, and how losing them would then therefore make him greater than like fucking Super Buu, etc. And he was bringing up examples like with fucking Super Buu being unable to kill Hercule, and Dre was saying that this would be showing like the effect on his mind, and then Ghosted was arguing that it's more so just he didn't care about Hercule. He was like, okay, this nigga's weak as fuck. I'm out of here. He ain't do nothing. He just left, and they left that point, and then they fucking are now talking about. Fuck, I'm confusing myself. No cap.
Okay, no, you're on the right track. So now we're just talking about Vegito scaling above Super Saiyan 3.
Okay.
You're arguing the base Vegito versus
and hopefully the recording doesn't fucking end again.
You good.
Alright, continue.
Okay, so Jake, so where we left off, right?
You were saying that base Vegito is stronger than Goku, and then you D-Ball sent the scan that you like said it's stated.
Yeah.
Okay, which part of this is
I was saying I lost where he was at because Ghost was just explaining it like Vegito was just greater than Goku.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing that was gonna lead on to like
Buuhan skills relative. We can just say Buuhan skills relative to base Vegito, who skills above Super Saiyan 3.
And then that's what had you arguing like what cockiness means and why Vegito probably would be like suppressing himself if Buuhan wasn't an important opponent. And then Dre was like, well, he could just like want to go his max because that's what Saiyan's also like doing it. And y'all did that whole thing.
Yeah. So going on that little cockiness, right, and how he would go on his max, I feel like I've proven. We can just go on conclusions on this point if you want, right? On
like over the base Vegito versus Goku thing.
Yeah. We can go on conclusions. Then we can go to your skin because I feel like that's all
right, that's fair. Go ahead. You can go first.
I feel like I've proven that Vegito. Right. I feel like I've won this point simply for the fact that I don't think my opponent properly rebutted my points on how Vegito would scale above Goku. Or no, he did agree on that. He didn't agree on the fact of how Buuhan would scale relative to base Vegito, and I'm saying it would because it matches the characteristics of both Goku and Vegeta to go full power if needed. I don't believe. He tried to say like he was just being cocky, and in actual Saiyan's like characteristics, they would just go at their they would want to kill them at their best. But I don't believe so. I feel like it's heavily shown throughout the entirety of Z and Super that if not needed the transformation, they will not go there. Hence, like Goku versus Frost. And even Vegeta versus Frost, how he doesn't believe he needs blue, but he still goes blue. Same with Kaba. He doesn't believe he needs blue, but the only reason why he quote-unquote shows blue simply for the fact just to show Kaba that you can be stronger than who you already are. I feel like it's very consistent in the fact that if the Saiyans don't need a transformation, right, that they already have obtained, they don't go to it. That's why I believe if they do go to it, meaning they would need it, not just as a form of cockiness. I feel like it has to be specified whether it's just cockiness rather than them just needing it. So that's it.
I don't want to like interrupt. All right.
I'm done, homie. You can go.
All right. Okay, so I feel that I personally won the point. My reason being that my point when I was telling Ghosted was that a Saiyan can be at like full power to like show off that like they're just that much superior than to like basically sun them. And I don't feel that I feel that it would at least be equal interpretation, and that Ghosted didn't really assert his properly above mine because I gave counter interpretations to everything that he gave. So therefore, I don't really think that this is a quantifiable like assertion or like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A better way of saying it is a more quantifiable interpretation that you can like get higher than the other. Okay, and I'm done. You want to get into my feeling now, Ghosted?
Yeah, you can get to your skin, homie.
You agree that a legendary manga's well, I guess you sense it already, so you do agree it's credible.
Yeah, keep going. Okay. Dre, you died?
No, I'm sending it.
Oh, I was about to say.
Okay, so here in the legendary manga, it states all the Saiyans of the families of Goku and Vegeta fight a Buu with more power each time, and Kid Buu comes after Buuhan. So Kid Buu would have more power than Buuhan.
Sorry, wait. You're saying all the Saiyans? Okay, I'm gonna just read it. All the Saiyans and families of Goku and Vegeta fight a Buu with more power each time.
From a native Spanish speaker's translation, by the way. This is Hybris, if you know who that is.
I just feel like that gets contradicted throughout the show and other data books.
How does it get contradicted in the show?
No, the show, sorry, the manga.
Yeah. How does it get contradicted in the manga?
Okay, are you aware? Like, there's other like statements saying like, hold on, I'll find it. Hold on, we already met all these points, so we don't got to argue it. All right.
You can bring it up to me, and I might remember, so we can just go on it without having to get the scan.
Yeah. So, are you aware there's like another El Manga Legendario thing that there's actually two El Manga Legendario things that actually contradict this and state like there's like another Buu, but like he's not as powerful.
We already went over this first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying we don't need to keep going on these. I was just saying.
Okay. So
like there's two El Manga Legendarios things that basically state like
okay,
that like the base Buu would be like weaker.
Okay, so you know what, like, it says here, because I already addressed the first one, so I'm not going to go over it. I'm going to go over the second one. The second one is, it states Buu had returned to his most violent, but not as powerful, or most violent form, but not as powerful. I can interpret this differently than you. The way I can interpret this is that by his like, form being weaker in that sense wouldn't have to inherently mean that he's weaker, in the same way that, as an analogy, when Goku was fighting in Super Saiyan God against Beerus, he later on dropped back into Super Saiyan, and that Super Saiyan form surpasses the Super Saiyan God, and you can use this same line of narration over that to say Goku returned to his not so powerful form, which is Super Saiyan. And my argument here isn't that the fused form of Buuhan is weaker than Kid Buu, just that the actual fuser, like the actual person, is stronger than the said fused form in this instance. So I don't think it would inherently have to contradict it.
I believe it. I believe that that's very wrong. I feel like we should go by like not what we think, what we know, and this would be what we know is it verbatim states that it returned to its most violent form, but not as powerful. The context of this El Manga Legendario is talking about Buuhan and Kid Buu, mainly Kid Buu, but they would be going on the fact of they'd be referencing the last form Kid Buu has taken, which is Buuhan, and what's it called? Kid Buu was not as powerful as that.
Okay, Ghosted. You know what you said. The problem here is the heavy usage of the word contradiction. Under your interpretation, it's impossible for what I just gave for anything to make sense. Or rather, it'd be impossible for Kid Buu to still be stronger than Buuhan with this. I just gave you
what I would okay, sorry, right? Because I feel like when I'm saying contradicting, I'm gonna start using this more logically now because what I'm trying to say when I mean contradicting, I'm saying with your logic. I need to start saying this more. It's my fault, right? With your logic. I was getting at the fact that it would have just been contradicted with this. Hence, like your first like El Manga Legendario thing. Let's say like if this is true, this is immediately contradicted, quote unquote, right? With this, right? And I'm not using the word contradicted as like a heavy use, right? I'm just saying with your logic, it would have been contradicted. But what I'm saying is there's multiple claims to kind of cancel this out, saying like this isn't the case.
I get what you're saying. Okay, so
yeah, it's kind of
I'm gonna let you recant the contradict statement. I do that to people. They get annoyed with it. It's just a thing. All right, look. So with that in mind, in the first one, it says that they fight a Buu with more power each time. They're not saying that they fight a form of Buu with more power each time. They're saying a Buu. Here it's saying Buu returned to his most violent form, but not as powerful. I could interpret this as them making a separation between Buu and his form, because they literally say Buu returned to his most violent form. So in that case, the way you could interpret this as equal interpretation is that Kid Buu's form, in the sense, because it's the base, is weaker than Buuhan's form, but the actual fighter in of itself wouldn't have to inherit.
Sorry for interrupting you. Do you believe like the main Buus are like Fat Buu, Super Buu, and Kid Buu, right?
The main Buus?
Like those are like the core things. Fat Buu, Super Buu, Kid Buu. But like the purest one is like the purest form of Buu would be Kid Buu, right?
I think Kid Buu's the most pure. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll further elaborate. What I'm getting at is, right, what we would take as, I would just be going at the fact that this is referring to Super Buu, not like the one that you sent. This is referring just to Super Buu.
What, this not as powerful thing?
That each of the family fights a Buu. What's it called?
Wait, so are you dropping the other 2 points?
No, I'm not dropping the other 2 points. I'm saying for your scan, I would just be saying this is referring to Super Buu.
Why would it be
like another point? Yeah, that could just be like it could be just referring to Super Buu.
Goku and Vegeta didn't fight Super Buu in the manga.
I'm saying each of the Buus, Goku, Vegeta, and their families.
Why would this only be referring to Super Buu?
I'm saying this could be referring to Super Buu.
I'm asking you why.
Okay, so you were like Goten and Trunks are a part of like Goku and Vegeta's family.
Yeah.
Okay, are you aware they fight Super Buu?
Yeah.
Okay, so why couldn't Super Buu just be named one of the Buus? There's no specific contradiction.
It's cool. It would apply to Super Buu as well, but I'm saying it just applies to like the Buu, like just all the Buu, because Super Buu, Kid Buu, they're all the same person. Like these are fan-made terms that we're using to separate the forms. But at the end of the day, everybody is Majin Buu. So if they're fighting a Buu with more power each time, then yeah, that didn't just include Majin Buu.
Yeah, I just say Super Buu and then Kid Buu. Kid Buu would be the stronger Buu.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Fight a Buu with more power each time.
Yeah. So it goes like Fat Buu. They fight Fat Buu. Fat Boo's done. Then there's Super Buu. He's stronger than Fat Buu. Then there's done with that, and then there's Kid Buu. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. So you do know that with fighting a Buu with more power each time, you know that the way that forms work is they stack on top of the actual person's power level. So if Buu tanks and the others have forms and stuff, this would apply to like Super Buu. Because Super Buu, if you want to go off that logic,
I don't believe. Wait, are you trying to get at the fact that like, oh, this would also be going to the fact of like, like Buuhan, Buu tanks, like that?
I mean, yeah, if you're going to say that Super Buu is just a boost, so it means Super Buu, cool.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why that wouldn't make any sense for that to be the case, right? The reason why I'm saying it wouldn't make any sense, right? So I feel like they mainly referring to the fact that something that is not there, right? So what do we know as like a Buu each time they fight, right? And they specify Goku and Vegeta like themselves and their family, right? It would make no sense for them to be including, okay, Goku and Vegeta fight a Buu, but also we're going to include like the Buu's transformations that he already lost. This Kid Buu is stronger. No. I feel like they'd be referring to the fact of, now listen. I would have agreed if if they never like took away Gohan and them, right? And Kid Buu's kind of like just an adaptation of Buuhan, just a stronger version. I would agree then. But we know that it were like, what's it called? What's the right word? Regression, where it comes back to Super Buu's normal power. So I don't believe so. I don't believe.
Oh, are you saying this comes from base suit? Oh, well, I mean,
okay. So the point I'm getting at is, right?
I get what you mean. All right, I'm gonna counter that, okay? Because I disagree. Okay, so cool. If you pay attention to the semantics of this, what it's saying is that the families of Goku and Vegeta, they fight a Buu with more power each time. It's referring to the Buus that they fight. The Super Buu that comes after Buuhan never fought anybody. In the manga, at least, so it wouldn't really be applicable to characters such as Buff Buu or Super Buu, because the last Buu that they fought that comes before Kid Buu is Buuhan.
Are you done? Wait, sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. All right. So I feel like I've argued this, right? Do you just want to go with conclusions?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
All right, now wait. Are you going to conclusion of the point, or are you done? Wait, are you done with everything you're saying?
Let me think. Let me make sure I don't have anything else.
All right, do your thing, homie.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
So
you can say your thing, and then
possibly one more. Where?
are you sure? Like, what else is it?
Maybe I'm gonna ask you a question, and that's gonna determine it for me. I actually have one more, but I'm gonna ask you one more before this. Where do you scale Goku to personally? Like, do you think that he's like as strong as Gohan?
I think manga Goku would scale below Gohan.
Why do you think that manga Gohan?
But I don't really have like an definitive stance on it. I feel like I could be persuaded either way. I don't really care for it.
You're neutral.
Yeah, I don't really care for it. I just what I've heard and seen, I would just say Gohan, just right off the blue mind.
Then where would you scale? Would you say that? So you like strongly disagree that Goku scales on par with Buuhan? Then correct?
Goku, what strongly scales on par with Buuhan?
Yeah.
No, he's like shitting bricks. Yeah.
He's like shitting bricks. Why would that have to mean though that he's weaker than Buuhan in that sense?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, like the circumstances that are revolving around Goku fighting Buuhan, right? Like not wanting to fight Buuhan, right?
He doesn't. Are you aware? Like Goku doesn't believe they could beat him without fusion.
Yeah, I know. Like, are you aware of the circumstances behind that?
Okay, tell me the circumstance. Tell me.
Goku, when he shows up to Earth, doesn't want to fight Buuhan. I agree. He says that, like, he gets told by Elder Kai, he says it to Vegeta, like, oh, we can't beat this guy without fusing, right? So, with that in mind, the circumstances behind that are that one is that they need to find a very large, like, I guess, they need a gap in power in order to push Buu into this mental corner where he feels that he needs to absorb Vegito because inside of them, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Piccolo, etc., are all in there, so it wouldn't have to inherently like contradict or oppose the idea that Goku and Buuhan are on par because Goku doesn't have an opportunity to do that if he was on par going on, and like also that Buu is a very hacked out fighter, and also that he could on par could still mean that Buuhan is just slightly stronger than Goku, and that there is a slight power gap.
I don't believe so. I believe it's very consistent, like showing, like if it was okay. Are you aware of the fact that like a slight change in power would have to correlate to them being relative?
Well,
like a slight difference in power.
Relative.
Right? No, you're saying you just said like Buuhan would only be slightly above Goku, right? So they would have to either be on par or relative. Is that what you're trying to get at here? Because that wouldn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, like if they're on par, then they would be relative.
All right, I'm gonna explain why that won't make sense. It is very consistent throughout the showing. Like relativity to one another does not mean that, especially okay. Nobody in Dragon Ball has been relative to somebody else and been shitting bricks like how Goku did with things. Because I'll show you other showings of like Goku being relative to somebody and still. Like
by relative,
not having that same reaction.
By relative, I mean that there's only like a small gap in power, like a small.
Yeah, I know. Like there's not like Buuhan would be a 10, and then Goku would be like a 9.
Probably like an 8.
Yeah, I don't. That's like really relative. Like maybe Buuhan in the high end. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Because a real relative showing is Goku versus Captain Ginyu. You ever seen that fight? That's a relative showing. Where Goku, I think, was overall faster and Ginyu was stronger, or vice versa. What was it, D-Balls? I'm confused. Like, you know what I'm talking about with the fight, right?
I don't think Goku and Ginyu fought. Like Goku just powered up to his like full thing.
Dre, it's true. They had a fight. Ginyu put Goku in ECMO, and then fucking Ginyu was noting that he was like really fast, and Goku did it.
I feel like the chapter of this.
Yeah, I got you. Give me like
because I know there's like multiple relativity showings, and Goku never ever in his life has had a reaction now how he has like with like Buuhan. That's not a relative showing. Goku visibly shows like distress and worry when Vegeta crushes that. When Vegeta crushes him. Like he's visibly showing like pissing himself.
Yeah, I think that Goku wouldn't win in a fight against Buuhan. I
know. I understand what you're saying. Right? You're saying Buuhan can still beat Goku, but you also said that it was just a slight power difference. Like Buuhan's a 10 and Goku's a 9.
I think that Buuhan could still dog Goku if they had fought in that moment, but
then that wouldn't be relativity, Dre. That wouldn't be a 9 and 10. What you're saying, if he could dog Goku, that's a Buuhan's a 10 and Goku's at least a 5 or a 4.
No, all right. Let me explain.
Like Goku has to be a whole tier below.
Okay,
multiple tiers.
I'll explain. How big? Like, have you ever have you ever tried to give a quantification? Like, how big do you think there needs to be of like a power gap to completely outclass?
In Dragon Ball, I believe they have to be a whole tier below you before you get quote unquote dog walk.
Why not like a small one?
I don't know, because that wouldn't mean relativity. If there's only a small difference in power, like if I'm an 8 and you're a 9, or I'm an 8 and you're a 10, that is not enough for you to quote unquote dog walk me. Because I'm gonna give you an example. Ginyu was let's say an 8.5 and Goku was like a 7. Ginyu didn't dog walk Goku, and Goku, or you can even change it.
Okay, the chapter is for Shonen. Chapter 91. 90 and 91 is in
If you don't mind, just send the scaling real quick. Not scaling, the scan. Because, like, unless Jay wants to go through the whole entire thing, I don't want to waste the time.
I mean, I'm very fast. I'm already on manga C.
Alright, do your thing, homie.
What was the chapter? Right. 95?
That's what it is. 90. 90 and 91.
90 and 91.
Let's see. 90.
Right? This fight was a showing of actual relativity. Them going on a back and forth, them both visibly shown damage.
Hold on.
Right?
I think it's in the scans too.
And Goku, you know what's funny? Even though they're relative to one another, Goku still shows confidence, even stated by Ginyu.
Oh, for this, I could just interpret this as either or were like suppressed if there's no proof that they were going all out.
I don't think
Ginyu's. I'm pretty. What happened?
No, in this one, Goku is suppressing himself.
No, I'm talking about the one after with I think after he goes Kaioken.
After he once Goku reveals his full power, I think Ginyu gets the ship out. I don't remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't think he ever does. He just like senses the power, and then he like freaks out. Then he like pierces a hole in his heart, and then like his body. Like, at least not in the manga, because we're doing manga continuity.
Yes. Hold on, I'll find it.
Because it wouldn't matter, like, because your point is just talking about them being like showing up as a sign of what a relative fight would be.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out like the whole like little scene because the memory is like foggy.
Yeah, I don't think that ever happens.
No, they do. I'm just saying they don't fight. Goku wasn't at full power in the scenes I sent, Dre, but I don't believe Ghost Point was saying like at full power they were relative.
Yeah, I know what he meant. He said that you have to be an entire tier above somebody to dog walk them. That's what he said, right?
Yeah. That's
I'm saying
to you. All right, so
the Ginyu and Goku example wasn't to show like Ginyu can handle Goku for power. The point was that in that fight specifically, that Goku was relative towards Ginyu, and Goku and Ginyu both show confidence in beating one another. Right? Whether you want to say Goku's holding back so he has confidence that he can kill Ginyu, and like if he goes full power, you would also have to explain why Ginyu has confidence in fighting Goku at this quote unquote suppressed state. Because what Ginyu believes, this is Goku's full power.
Yeah, it was just an example of what relativity would look like. That's it.
Hold on, so let me see. He's better than I thought. So you said Ginyu's confident in like taking on Goku as like a way of showing that they're like.
Yeah, Ginyu. I'm pretty sure Ginyu verbatim states like, I'll kick that confidence out of you, or like he'll beat the confidence out of Goku.
I sent the like signs of relativity, but I don't think this point needs to be that hardly discussed.
Saying that, like Goku, I'm saying like right there, Goku could have been suppressing himself to like Ginyu's level or something.
That's fine. Okay.
No,
Dre,
he's just showing an example of what it would look like for two characters to be relative. The context of it doesn't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm not saying like Ginyu can dog walk Goku before.
He was saying like Goku would be here. He's just saying like if they were relative, this is what it would look like.
Oh, I can just say that the relativity there. Yeah. I could just say that you never know. Like the relativity there could just be closer than the relativity between Goku and Buuhan.
You would have to prove that. You would have to like there's like you would have to make the quantification how close they both are compared to.
Okay, wait. Just for full clarity here, right? He's saying like if there's no examples to show that they're anywhere near each other, and then if the relativity isn't like a 90 to a 92 maybe, but it's like a 90 to a 95, that's like kind of a tier up. Like he's getting doodled.
Yeah, the point I'm making at is right. We've seen Goku when he's truly relative to one another, right? Like he's like Goku. You can even say Goku's a 92 and Ginyu's a 90, right? We've seen Goku. That is a visible showing of relativity compared to how Goku sees Buuhan. That is clearly not a 90 to a 92.
And
he is clearly shown like I could die if I fight this guy.
I know, and I'm saying to you that it doesn't have to inherently be a 92 to a 90. It could just be like an 89 to a 92 is all the difference that it makes. And my reasoning for that is because we have
an 89. Wait, you said an 89 to a 90?
No, an 89 to a 92. Like it could just be like it's slightly larger.
Okay, so the point that I'm making at is right. Right. Relativity with skill. Like let's say.
Like they don't have to be relative as fighters. I'm saying their power, just the level of power, and like the key output is what can be relative. Because
what do you mean?
All right, so you're familiar with the V jump, like Buuhan gained power on par with Goku or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so it's specifically like like it can just be that like the level of power that he has now in terms of key output and stuff can be relative to the key output that Goku can output at his max. And I'm saying, like, it can just be relative. And I'm saying to you that there can be a small acceptable gap in power where it's still considered relative. And then that would be all I need to say. This wouldn't have to contradict because of the fact that we have instances like, for example, Radish only being like 1,000 and like, I think 100 units above Goku and Piccolo and like fucking like requiring the both of them to actually beat him, or Vegeta only being like 4,000 units above QQ or whatever his name was. And at this point, characters are like in the name.
I think I know what you're gonna get. Are you just trying to say like they don't have to be like an extreme difference in numbers to be like relative or something like that? That's the point you're trying to get at? Something like that? Something along those lines?
I was saying that like the gap in power can widen a bit as Dragon Ball progresses and it can still be on par. And what I mean by that is that like the last time where we had quantifications of their power levels was in the Namek Saga, and at this point they're into things like the millions.
I feel like they're confused. I'm not saying giving you an inherent quantification of both of their strengths. What I'm saying is we can make the proper interpretation that they are not relative. Buuhan and Goku are not relative. From the showing that I gave you with an actual relative person compared to Goku.
I know. I'm saying to you that the relativity between Ginyu and Goku wouldn't have to just be the only inherent measuring stick, and that there can still be relativity between the two of them, and that with that in mind, it could just be that the slight gap in power that's even wider than Goku and Captain Ginyu's is still just enough to make Buuhan outclass Goku.
Another showing Majin Vegeta and Goku.
Okay. Can you quantify like the gap between them? Because like if not, then this really doesn't contradict.
Vegeta, I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, Vegeta was winning the fight, but Goku was not showing the same effect that he had with Buuhan. And it's not like you can say, oh, but like Vegeta and Goku are close friends, because Vegeta verbatim states, if I'm not wrong, he had the intent to kill Goku.
I'm pretty sure like in the Dai's intro it said they were equal or something. And
Vegeta literally puts him on war and starts smacking him around.
Do you want me to like link the manga chapter?
Yeah.
Okay.
If we're not mistaken, right? Vegeta literally puts him on a wall, traps him, and starts beating the shit out of him.
That's only in the anime, I'm pretty sure. I don't think that happened in the manga.
Wait, was that only in the anime?
When he
just to go on track, right? Just to be clear, I think Ghost has asked for like an actual showing of relativity, right?
Yeah, because I feel like it's like we keep getting sidetracked with that.
Oh,
yeah, right? I feel like Dre is talking about like the numbers and such, but like Ghost is saying
the point.
And I'm showing you. I'm sorry. If you want the showing, you can.
Maybe I think it'd be better if just Debo, because I think I'm explaining it and you're just not getting it.
He just wants proof that like any sign of relativity between the two. That's it. Like Goku's able to fight someone that scales to Buuhan or greater, or something like that.
Why would I need proof of it if the thing already shows? I think it shows not contradicted.
I'm showing.
No, wait. What shows that Buuhan? Wait, hold on.
The chapters of
what shows that Buuhan and Goku are relative?
Oh, I was saying the V jump scan. Like, I was asking him, how does he feel about the idea that Goku and Buuhan are on par, and then we got into it, and I, like, was saying...
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh,
yeah,
my. Let me stop.
I was saying...
Wait, what are you saying? Wait, what are you saying? What are you saying?
I was saying that this wouldn't
Did
really
you
happen.
say that?
Oh, by the way, I also sent the 2 chapters, chapter 264 and chapter 265.
Hey, wait, did he? What
Wait,
you
Dre,
say,
I don't
Dre?
think
What are you
maybe
talking
you
about?
said what you're talking about. That's probably why Ghost doesn't know what you're saying.
Oh, you didn't understand what I was saying?
I don't think he's seen the skin you're talking about, like the V-Jump thing.
You want me to?
I
You want me
really
to send
Wait, I could find it for you. You don't gotta worry about it. You can finish what you're saying. I'm saying.
Okay. I
Oh
mean,
wait,
I have it. I was
send.
asking.
Let me make sure not to send. I'm gonna just say like flat out which.
Okay, so it was a misunderstanding
I'll
then.
send you the scan for you.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck, you already said that.
Grand Caution, margin absorb the Grand Caution was a ruler in the who exists the driver. Uses the driver DVD and margin Buu even. Now he remains a side of Buu and seems to collect the patrol needs fire.
I was worrying about like what is Trey talking about the V-Jump thing? I'm like, oh, it's not even in here. That's why I don't know what you're talking about.
Margin Buu pick
I'm sorry, Ghosted.
Wait, what is the point of the scan if you don't mind me? Oh wait.
I was
what the fuck did D-Ball send? No, I'm lost. Y'all sent two different shit.
I'm showing you the
It's the same thing.
I was
okay,
saying
this one's in the green code. Keep going.
I was saying that how do you feel about Goku and Buuhan being on par, and then you gave an assertion or a stance, so then I was giving you counter interpretations and
oh wait, I know this scan. Homie, I just say for one, I don't believe it is like very consistent, right? But two, right? Just going off this, I would just say, what's it called? I just say this gets contradicted.
How?
This gets contradicted by literal showings in the manga.
Like what?
Goku shitting bricks. And another data book. Let me find it. D-Balls, if you know what I'm talking about, send that. Where it literally states Goku was not didn't know if he could win without fusion.
Ghosted, I think that's a little circular because I was talking about Goku and Buuhan being on par. Then you
I'm saying they wouldn't be on par, and that data book gets contradicted by literal showings of feats that would not make them on par.
Yeah, I'm showing you. I'm saying that I think that's circular because we already talked about if they were on par or not, and then you said that they're not relative or anything because of the whole oh, this isn't how relativity looks like.
Okay, then my fault, homie, my fault. Yeah, you're right. So then I would just say, right, I just say what I said last time, right? So we don't go circular. Simple as that. My rebuttal will still be the same.
Okay, and then my rebuttal that the gap can still be slightly wider is all and it wouldn't contradict it is mine. And since you asserted contradiction, I feel you would need to disprove my interpretation. I wouldn't have to disprove yours.
Okay. All right. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. So wait, do we go in conclusions? What do we want to do? Because you said you had one more point.
Just the Spirit Bomb feat. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay. So do you think that the Dragon Ball universe is infinite, in size?
You can keep going. What you're gonna go at?
Okay, I'll
just keep going with the point. Yeah.
I was just gonna say that Kid Buu had a better feat than Buuhan, and I was gonna show it.
Yeah, you can go. Or you can say him handling the Spirit Bomb was the better feat.
Yeah, let me get the exact thing.
You know, he didn't handle the Spirit Bomb when it was actually done properly.
What do you mean by that?
I'll find it. I'll get multiple scans, right?
Well,
so you were.
I want to explain the potency of the Spirit Bomb. That was what I was gonna go.
That's fine. That's fine. What I'm saying is, I don't see Kid Buu scaling to the Spirit Bomb at all.
Why not?
Okay, so are you aware the only time Kid Buu actually shows him going back with the Spirit Bomb is when Goku's very fatigued and cannot handle it? I'll show you multiple super exciting guides, stuff like that.
No, I know. Why would him being fatigued matter though?
Because he couldn't handle it. What do you mean? He couldn't handle it properly. He can't handle the thing, but that's been the whole point. His main Kid Buu's main advantage was Goku could not push the Spirit Bomb literally because he didn't have enough energy to push it. He didn't have any not energy, sorry, because you might get it confused. Stamina. So he didn't have any quote unquote stamina to do it.
You know what that means, right? That means that Goku scales above. I'm sorry, the Kid Buu scales above the Spirit Bomb and the Goku.
No. If think about it like this. If I throw a ball at you, right? If I throw a humongous big ball at you, but I don't do it with all my force, and you're able to bounce the ball back at me, are you scaling above the entire ball? No. I'm not putting any force on the ball to push it back at you.
You got background noise. You got background noise.
Oh, my fault.
It's not that noticeable. Yeah. I mean, if you throw a ball at me and I catch the force of it from when you throw it, and then I'm even...
Hold on. Actually, hold on.
All right.
Okay. Sorry. The point that I was getting at, right? Because just ignore the actual analogy I made, right? Because I'd rather instead of going on the analogy, I'd rather just send you something that kind of backs up the evidence that fatigued and he couldn't handle the spirit bomb properly. Like he wouldn't be able to use the
I know what that means. I'm saying to you that all that means is that Kid Buu scales through the spirit bomb with Goku's push.
With Goku's push, then that wasn't the 100% spirit bomb.
It does. What do you mean by that? Like
I'm saying Goku can't use the spirit bomb to its best capabilities because he wasn't at his best capabilities.
Do you mean that he doesn't have enough force to push it properly?
Yeah, like he didn't. He literally.
Okay, let me give you an analogy. All right, so Ghosted, you and I, if we go out to the gym together now and we go to go bench press or do leg press or something, and you are just some kind of psychotic ass dude, and when I'm going to bench, I have maybe 2 caddies on each side. I'm a big boy like D-balls, and when I bench it. Yeah, I see that. Okay, so when I bench the thing and I push it back up, you get some kind of tick, and you want to just force the thing down and kill me. You've already been working out the entirety of the day, and you are drained as fuck. All right, and you try to push the bar down on me, and I'm able to lift the bar up. Even when you are forcing it down on me, that means that I still am stronger than.
No. So I believe that analogy. I believe that analogy is very consistent, right? So the reason why is Kid Buu was already struggling and barely moving it when Goku was at fatigue. Huh?
The Daizenshuu says he would have eventually pushed it back.
Obviously, he eventually pushed it back. But what I'm saying is, Kid Buu was barely moving it. He was moving it, but barely. The point I'm getting at is if. The way the spirit bomb works is if you cannot use it properly, it will not go to its full capacity.
Still implies relativity.
I think it's very consistent in showing.
Considering that the spirit bomb didn't completely obliterate him, that just shows that he scales to it.
Are you aware of how the spirit bomb works?
I know, Ghosted. You said, he can barely move it. Barely, sure. Still means he can move it. I don't care if he can't.
Okay, no. You're what I'm saying. Are you aware how the spirit bomb works?
How does it work, Ghosted?
It's okay. Are you aware the spirit bomb isn't kind of a bomb? It kind of just pushes you until you're engulfed on it. Are you aware that's how it works?
You mean to just force the thing on you?
Yes. The whole point of a spirit bomb is you're forcing the target on it. Do you want to see showings of it?
I mean, I know, that's what he did to Frieza.
Yeah, okay. And in Kid Buu, it's literally shown that it pushes him away, right? So the point that I'm getting at is, right, from the data books I've even sent you, it is shown. I'm pretty sure there's another one where. Hold on, I gotta find it. Just don't go on another point. Just give me a second.
Okay.
A whole point of that Goku couldn't use the spirit bomb properly.
Yeah. That since Goku couldn't completely push the spirit bomb as hard as he possibly can, it wouldn't really help prove that Kid Buu scales to it because Goku wasn't at his fullest capability, right?
I'm saying Goku couldn't use the spirit bomb properly at all. He couldn't use the power with it. He couldn't do anything with the spirit bomb because he was fatigued.
Power with it.
Couldn't use anything with the actual spirit bomb. He couldn't maintain it well properly. I feel like I'm not explaining this well enough. That's why you're getting really confused.
That's D-balls. Do you understand his argument?
Okay, so I think Ghost is just saying that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Right? Correct me that if the spirit bomb wasn't going at maximum output, and this spirit bomb is quote unquote weakened, right? It's not the same one. Then I'm guessing that's leading to where does the normal spirit bomb scale to then that Goku would push originally? I'm guessing that's what it's leading to. He's saying, if it's not going at full force due to Goku being fatigued, then
that wouldn't be the actual spirit bomb.
by full force, right? You just mean that he wasn't pushing it as hard as he can, right?
No, I'm going by the spirit bomb cannot use its full. Okay, the point I'm getting at
Sorry
is
if this is getting heated. I don't
no,
know.
no, 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 no. You're good. 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 Is this? I'm mainly more upset at the fact that I'm fucking up trying to explain this because it's like really easy with a showing, but I'm like fucking up explaining it. The point that I'm getting at is the spirit. Okay, think of the spirit bomb. With Goku's using it is at a 50, but when he gets all his stamina back and all that, it's at like it's perfect. It's at its like full capacity.
So you're saying that the spirit bomb is weaker? Just the ball itself, the potency of that ball is weaker than when
yes,
Goku
because it doesn't have like Goku actually maintaining it properly.
But all that Goku's doing is he's gathering the energy into one massive chunk of a ball, and then he's just throwing it. The only problem.
Well, do you believe? Okay, let me ask you this: do you believe, right? It kind of goes along with Ki control. Do you believe, right? If Goku made a Ki blast at his like full power, it'd be the same exact thing as Goku making the Ki blast at like his like no energy left.
No energy left.
Yeah. Do you believe it'd be the same potency as a Goku full power Ki blast rather than him being super fatigued?
I don't think that correlates to the spirit bomb because when Goku,
I do believe so.
If Goku shoots a Ki blast and he's tired, obviously the Ki blast wouldn't be at full potency, but that's because it comes from Goku's Ki reserves and Goku's low on Ki at that moment. This spirit bomb.
Okay, now do you not? Okay, this again. That's why I said Ki control. Are you aware Goku's using his Ki to actually like push back the spirit bomb and use it like actually use it properly?
So all that would mean is he's amping it on top of his Ki.
No. Okay. So what you're saying is what I'm saying is the spirit bomb itself is at like a 50. When Goku's at his full power and actually kills what's it called, Buu with the spirit bomb, it is at the like that's the proper way to use it. It's at an 100 now.
Okay,
Kid Buu was just pushing back a 50% spirit bomb.
Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do, Ghosted? I still want judgment on this point, but I'm gonna steelman it because I have another argument. Okay, so let's say hypothetically.
Wait, I thought this was the final point.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, like, I have a way to like counter what you're saying. The Kid Buu doesn't scale to it.
Okay.
Okay. So
you're not steelmanning. Wait. Are you steelmanning or not?
Yeah. Like, I'm saying I'm steelmanning it so I can show you like that this wouldn't really matter to me. Like, look.
Okay.
Let's say. Okay. So you're saying that it's weakened. Like the potency of the ball is just weaker than it normally is. Do you have you gave the 50 to 100 analogy? So would you have like a quantification exactly to the spirit bomb, like numerically speaking? Like, could you quantify just how like weakened it was compared to its normal full power? Because I know, like with SSJ push, so it'd be at least 50 times weaker, right? But like for the rest of it, like in his drain fatigue base, do you have like would you still like say that it's by like a finite number that he's weakened by, like in terms of like quantifications numerically?
Oh, hold on. I can barely hear you.
Okay.
Is the debate done? Or?
No, he's getting a call, I think, so I'm just waiting for him to come back.
Well, how long has this debate been going on?
It's almost done. This is my final point, and then we're wrapping it up.
Alright.
Like, I guess we'll give like a conclusion on either the point or like the full-on debate. I don't really care. I'll talk to Ghosted about it when he gets back. Because I just have this final point, and then we're wrapping it up. Because I know that D-Balls has been here for a while.
Who's debating it on what?
These balls in your mouth. I'm debating you on them.
Oh, are you debating the size of the balls? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, I think they're quite small.
Anyway,
you prove that?
Is somebody debating further?
Yes, me and Ghosted. I'm just waiting for Ghosted to come back.
What are you debating on?
Kid Buu versus Buuhan.
Oh, Buuhan easily.
J-Rock, after this, you and I can take it to my server.
Oh,
nah.
Shit.
Dre,
I already slammed you on that.
Sure...
Me and Senpai slammed you on that.
Baited me on this,
I
you
don't
fat
think
fuck.
I slammed it.
Dre, I want you to win. Dre, I want you to win, so just hammer in this point, okay? Okay. All I'm going to say is that.
I don't know, man. Outside help to me.
I'm back. So, do you want to go conclusions on this?
I was gonna give you the analogy first, and then I was gonna go to conclusions for the entire debate.
Alright,
Yo,
so
who has the
say it
entire
for me.
Mexican community in their background?
J-Rock, one mute
What's
for a
that?
second.
What'd you say?
I was saying, so I know that like it should be at least a spirit bomb, like because you're saying the potency of the bomb should be weaker because Goku was weakened. I was saying that like, do you have like a numerical quantification? Because I know it should at least be 50 times weaker, and then there's like the fatigue from the base. I was like, do you think that's by like a finite number?
I can't give you like 100% quantification. It is not the same.
Okay,
as
so
the spirit bomb
is
that
it by
Goku
like?
uses when
Would you say it's by like a
capacity.
finite number? Would you say it's by like a finite number?
I'm slow. Explain what the fuck you just said.
Fine, like a not infinite number. Like, do you think that like it would like he'd be weakened? Yes. So like, if we go off the steel man, the bomb would be weakened, yeah. I was saying, if we go off that the bomb was weakened, sure, okay. And I was saying, would you say that the amount of like suppression on the bomb would be by like a finite number or like by an infinite amount?
So okay. You cut out after you said, is it by a finite number or what?
If it's by a finite number, or do you think it was like infinitely weaker? Like, and I mean that literally.
Homie, you hurt my head.
Ghosted. It's basic math.
You're hurting my head, bro. You're hurting my head.
Ghosted.
Sorry,
It's Ghosted. He's
it's
saying
fucking
like,
weaker, bro. It's weaker, bro.
But yes,
weaker,
I
bro.
know. I'm saying,
weaker,
do you think
bro.
that it's weak? I'm saying,
Hurting my fucking head, bro.
Do you think that it's weaker by an infinite amount or by a finite number?
Bro,
wait, Ghost, I got you. Let me explain this. So I'm assuming because Drake has like the spirit bomb. I'm guessing and it's coming from the universe.
Yeah, alright, look, so Ghosted, I'll explain. So Ghosted, if you can't give me a quantification, sure, I'll steelman that it's, I'll agree, sure, maybe it's massively suppressed, I don't care. If that's by that, we can't really assume it's by something extremely marginal, like infinitely weaker, and this spirit bomb has 4D potency, so no matter what, the gap between a 4D and a 3D tier is beyond infinity, so it would still be 4D, so it's still like at least uni plus, so no matter what, Kid Buu still has a better fate than anything that Buuhan output in the manga.
We already okay, right. Say you want to say this, we already went through how the scaling of the person that scales relative towards Kid Buu is weaker against Vegito.
Okay. Is weaker against we already went much earlier before that to say that Goku wasn't at the same level of strength against Kid Buu as Buuhan. We just left that up to judgment.
We already agreed that this is talking about, because I verbatim say Goku as a whole. You already agreed towards that.
I meant like in that time. I clarified that. Like, cause then I said like I gave this like, I mean, a character in his base can be strong.
Because I wasn't talking about Goku, the one that talks about Buuhan. I wasn't saying that. I verbatim said
Ghosted. Let's
Goku,
not
the one that fights Kid Buu.
Yeah, but Ghost, let's not pretend we don't know what we're talking about here. Look, when you said that, I literally responded by saying, yeah, but like I in that time, sure, but like in his base form, much later on.
Okay, listen, because I think you think I'm like doing some ratty shit and saying, well, you didn't specify this. No, I'm saying I specifically verbatim said the one that fights Kid Buu. So if you said it not in that time, that would make no sense.
I think that Goku is stronger, or Vegito is stronger than Goku, sure. Like the Goku that fought Kid Buu. Sure, yeah.
Okay, and that Kid Buu is relative towards Goku.
Okay, yeah, but the problem is, I don't think you ever... We left it up to judgment to if Vegito and Buuhan were actually relative. That was what I said. And that was up to judgment, so we can't really use that.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. I can't go too in-depth in this point. I'm not saying this as like, you lose because of this. No. I'm saying I can't go too in-depth in this point because we kind of went already on something similar to this.
Yeah, I know. You know what it could just mean? It could just mean that Vegito, Kid Buu, and the Spirit Bomb, and Goku are all 4D, and Buuhan's not 4D.
Wait, are you saying Vegito at his full power would just be 4D?
Sure.
No, X, I think he's saying like if you lose the point about Vegito and Buuhan being relative, then that would be the case.
Yeah, like, yeah.
That's how that's the interpretation he would give to explain.
Yeah, like, I don't really care about Buuhan. Like, Buuhan, like, from what we've seen, his best feats, like, fucking 3D from scaling above other characters in the manga. He has no 4D feats. Kid Buu has better feats because he can get scaled to 4D because the Spirit Bomb has 4D potency. That was my argument. So it wouldn't matter if it was weaker or not because it's still 4D no matter what because you can't prove that, like, it was by an infinite amount, so we can't make that assumption.
This shit hurts my fucking head. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
4D just means like universal. That's all it
Alright,
is.
let me explain it in like layman's terms because I understand
hold on.
hearing is
I feel like
annoying.
we expanded, bro. We expanded. I understand what you're saying slightly. I'm just. You just want
You know how
to.
dimensional hearing,
universal,
right?
It just means universal, X. That's all it means.
I think people
Universal
just
plus.
say it dumbly, bro.
Universal plus.
Whatever. X, just to make it simple for you, bro.
Alright, no, let me explain it. Okay, so Ghosted, this is how dimensional hearing
I
works.
promise you he's not going to understand what you're about to say, bro.
I'm just doing it in layman's terms for him, okay? So Ghosted.
Bro, don't say that. Don't fucking say that.
No, I'm not trying to say you're done.
And then when I don't understand what you're saying, I'm gonna look like a fucking goofball.
You're gonna understand, Ghosted, I promise you. Don't do this. King Kong gone!
Fuck you!
Chill out.
No worries, we're just joking around. Listen, look, ghosted, okay? So, the way this would work is by dimensional tiering. Okay, look, so you know what 3D is then, right? It's just the space that has a front, back, left, right, up, down. Okay, cool.
Yeah, sure.
And it's just a space with no time on its own. 4D is space and time fused into one. And I'm saying to you that the gap between something 3D and 4D, there's really no way to amp something that is 3D so much that it reaches an entire dimensional tier above. Like, even if you infinitely stretch up on 3D, it still doesn't become 4D.
X does not know what you're talking about, bro. He's not. I'm going to be one.
So
hold on.
So the gap between a 4D thing, anything 4D, and something 3D, like 4D still, but beyond infinitely above 3D. It's immeasurably above that. So even if Kid Buu, or if the Spirit Bomb is weaker, if it's still 4D in potency, it's still beyond infinitely or beyond immeasurably above, and like whatever like Buuhan has shown. So it's still a better feat.
Yeah.
You agree?
No, I'm just saying, like, yeah, to your point, like, yeah, I don't know, like, I get what you're saying. Like, you know?
Okay, cool. But yeah, you want to like go into judgment now?
That'll be great.
Wait, hold on. Can I say something? Because I think Dre might have forgot about something. Can I say something or no?
Is it gonna like sabotage the debate?
So I swear to God, because
hold on.
Give Ghosted, you decide. No, I'm not putting pressure on myself. Ghosted,
everyone back up.
Before
no,
I want to clarify. Okay. Dre, all I'm gonna say is you said you would do something and you forgot to do it. Can I clarify what it is? Or
That's literally all.
We've been
here for I'm not allowed to do it.
Alright, no, listen. We've been here for a while. I don't want to stretch this out any longer because me and Ghosted take a while on points. We'll just go to it doesn't matter. We'll go to conclusions.
Okay. I wasn't gonna say
Cell helping because he's side with this Spirit Bomb.
Listen, Cell does it on his own accord. Don't take nothing from me, D-Boss. Ghosted is your friend.
No, I got you.
No, I didn't say anything.
We're all friends here. We're all friends here. I fuck with you, Ghosted. I fuck with you, D-Boss.
Yeah, bro. Can we just go?
I'm watching you, Cell. I'm watching you, bro.
So, I want to drop kick you sometimes, low key. You make me want to get a steel chair and just hit you with it.
Pack him, Ghosted. Pack him.
No.
I'm
Get
about
to
to, bro.
conclusions. Get to conclusions.
Alright, you go first.
You go first. You just give me a whole algebra class, bro.
Listen, my man, I went first like 9 out of 10 times.
And I went second.
If I tell y'all, I just remember y'all points, bro.
D-Balls, I will pack you if you do that. I will spurg. Do not do
I'm not
that.
gonna lie to you, bro. I am a grown ass man. I will leave this bitch. I'm not about to stay here and get cut out.
We're gonna dox you. Me and Ghosted are gonna dox you.
If you dox me, you can come here and get your ass
what 40 fucking means.
Nah,
Wait, Doc, hold on. It's time to serve. Matter of fact, I'll count. You want to die fucking
I'll just
I will
circle
give
me
you
all
the So as I was saying,
Hold on. If Ghosted can't, if D-Balls can't remember some points, then do you all both consent to other people who were in VC this whole time to like elaborate on some things that D-Balls can't remember? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead, Ghosted.
State your conclusions.
I thought Debo said he remembered everything.
No, hold on. I said. That's why y'all niggas can't just jump in and start talking fucking crazy. I was about to say, you can skip the conclusions.
Wait till after. No, wait till
after.
Go.
Wait
till after.
Wait a minute, because now y'all fucking confusing me. Didn't D-Balls just say we can skip?
If you don't want...
Okay, now this is getting out of hand. I'm going to unmute y'all now. I want everyone to say...
It's perfect. You need this drama. It helps.
Okay, now, I'm gonna unmute everyone now, and here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna say your conclusions, and then after the verdict is made, y'all can yell at each other, okay? Okay.
Wow, you really server meeting me. Wow, I'm just trying to help your server, girl. I'm trying to give you this
D-Balls just say he remembered it.
Alright, Ghosted, if you don't want to do a conclusion, that's cool. I'll do the conclusion, then we can just go into D-Balls' judgment.
You do your conclusion. Go do your conclusion.
Okay. I think that I won this debate. To sum up everything, I don't think Ghosted probably rebutted the point that Kid Buu still had a better feat because it would still be 40 no matter what. I think that for my El Manga Legendario statement, I provided that, and I don't think Ghosted properly rebutted the fact that it still only applies to Buus and not the forms. I think that for everyone that Ghosted gave where he would assert a contradiction or something, I gave a fair equal interpretation and defended it every time. So I think that I won.
My head hurts.
I love you too, Ghosted.
Well, I don't think you won, Dre.
Zero, you just joined. I told you after this, you dumb bitch, we're going into my server to do Kid Buu versus Buuhan.
Oh shit!
Oh, Dre! Oh,
Yes, Dre! Yes, Dre!
Ghosted, do you have a conclusion?
Debo said he remembered, right?
D-Balls.
Yeah.
State your verdict.
Okay. My verdict is I believe Ghost won. And I'm explaining why. I feel like the most important point was Vegeta equal to Buuhan. I feel like Ghosted provided why Vegito transforming would have to prove within his character that Buuhan was a force that he couldn't handle with his base. And I don't feel like Dre's reputations were enough to convince me as the judge. Me personally, Cell's probably gonna disagree. Knowing his
so for sure in the background, like, okay, D-Boss.
And since Dre already agreed that fucking Kid Buu and Goku are relative, and I don't feel like Dre provided evidence why Goku would have gotten any stronger after that point. I don't feel like anything was given there to convince me. Me. Okay. I don't feel like the line of all right. This isn't saying that one was better than the other tremendously. It's just saying that I don't feel like Dre's reputation for it was enough to counter Ghost, providing that Zenkai boosts don't always occur. It's not always a consistent. And I don't feel like Dre was saying, like, no, this situation is different, but blah, 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 blah. I feel like he was spouting bullshit based on the evidence he gave. Now, my personal feelings. But I do feel like he was bullshit. And with that, if he agrees with the line of scaling of Goku relative to Kid Buu, and Vegito, he has no contention with Vegito being above them niggas, then Vegeta will be above, therefore Buuhan would have a scaling above him doing being relative to a base Vegeta. That's what I believe.
I hate this topic, bro.
So I'm not gonna lie to you, D-Balls. I do have contentions.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Wait, who won?
Listen, D-Balls.
They gave it to Ghosted.
Hey, chill.
Wait, who won?
A Ghosted. D-Balls was Ghosted one. I'm saying I have contentions with the judgment. Like, it's not to be rude or anything. I just disagree.
I'm gonna rewatch this.
All right, D-Balls, listen. You said the point was hindering on base or on Vegito versus Goku or Vegito versus Buuhan, right?
I said I feel like the most important part of Ghost's argument was that him winning or losing never determined going forward.
Yeah, I know, but we hardly went over that. All he did would have proved that Vegito and Super Saiyan is stronger. But the thing is, he never proved base Vegito was, because we got into that point. I disagreed. Then we completely moved on. There was okay.
The reason I'm saying that is because the scan that he sent flat out says that Vegito's stronger normal.
We didn't get into that. Like, he just sent that. I said I disagree, and then before we could get into that, we all got cut off.
I think you're confused. And when before I even sent that, you were talking about Super Vegito, and I was like, oh no, here's why it wouldn't be Super Vegito. And then we went on the point a little bit about No, look.
Well, the recording exists,
Because
so
you know
we can
what's
always
funny?
just look at that.
Yeah, exactly. The recording exists, and even D-Balls was like even set the scan of like base Vegito above Super Saiyan 3 and all that, right? And I was like,
because both of the scans in are talking about like Vegito, and then it says Super Saiyan. Like, I'm just going off.
No, you said that a fusion can scale above anything that the other user can produce. That doesn't. But like I was saying,
But Dre, did you ever ask specifically what form is he referring to?
No, but now you're placing the burden on me to understand his argument, and you're assuming
Dre,
what he meant.
Let me put it like this. If I say this nigga dick bigger than his, and then you don't say anything about it.
Gay.
No, but look, this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing, D-Balls. He said, okay, so look.
Well, being gay is bad.
Anyway, D-Balls, what Ghosted said was that it's better than anything the guy can produce.
I know you're not talking, bro. I didn't give me y'all fucking server before. Y'all niggas be hella gay in the boo shit. Don't do that.
Who's niggas?
Well,
Hey, I'm going to murder D-Balls, Ghosted, and Dre, and Highfather.
Listen, no. All right, look.
Why are you muting me?
D-Balls, look. Here's the thing.
No, but I'll say it, Dre. Finish your thing.
All right, listen. He said that it's better than anything that the user can produce, right? I don't know why, but you interpreted that as base Vegito when that was never specified. What you're doing is you're then putting a burden on me to assume what he meant by that when I interpreted what he said entirely different than what you are interpreting he meant. Just because he meant it doesn't matter.
Did you ever ask what he meant? Did you ever ask what he meant?
No, I didn't, because I thought I knew what he meant, but I didn't.
Why is that what you mean? If you're not going to ask for clarification.
Okay, but the thing is, there was no clarification, so you're assuming one interpretation of what he said, and then, like that, we never understood.
Wait a minute. Sorry for
interrupting. Hold on. Ed did bring up he's talking about base. Yeah,
he said that. He said that right after. He's like, okay, so you agree that base Vegito skills? And I was like, no. And then you guys said that.
Dre. The whole point, okay, right? Because we can even go to the recording at the end and all this, right? Just in case you don't believe me. The whole point of this whole entire thing wasn't me scaling Super Vegito. Like, that wasn't even my point. That's what I'm saying. I never once mentioned, okay, Super Vegito does this, and that. No. I literally always said base Vegito above this. And we even went into argument just to prove that I was talking about base Vegito on how, base Vegito isn't confident enough to beat Buuhan.
No, because look, we went into the Vegito not being confident, but the thing is, you guys were arguing about if Goku scales above base Vegito after that, which I disagreed with. Like, look,
and then I sent you the scans, and then I was like, homie, and then I was like, right? After I sent the scan, and then I even told D was, okay, yo, just in case he doesn't believe me on this one, can you send the other data book scan? He's like, oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I'm gonna send it, right? He sends it, and then we kind of go on a little back and forth. I tell you, okay, do you want to go to conclusions on this point? We can move on, and then he's like, yeah, we just let the judges decide because I feel like I've done my point, but I have another one just in case for the other points that I have. And I was like, okay, you can go on the other ones. So then we let the judges decide on that point specifically. If you had any contentions, because I told you multiple times throughout this debate, yo, if you have any contentions with what I'm saying, say them now. And then you told me the contentions you had. Then I said, okay, are you done? Do you want to go to conclusions? And then you said, okay, yeah, we can just let the judges decide. We've done that multiple times throughout this debate. That's why I tell you, Dre, if you have anything else to say it now. You should have, if you didn't know what I was saying, why'd you just be quiet? Like, okay, yeah, we can let the judges decide. When I verbatim said, okay, yeah, the Kid Buu that fights Goku is weaker than base Vegito because of this, that, and this. You didn't say anything towards it. So then I was like, all right, cool. We can move on towards.
Listen, you said that Vegito is stronger than, or Buuhan is stronger than Vegito in his base. We got judgment on that. I lost that. I don't care about that. Then you said, oh, do you think that fusions scale above the normal user? Not first, we went on like a 10-minute tangent because I thought you were including Buu in this, and I was like, no, I don't think that's the case with Buu. And then after that, you said, you were, I don't think Buu is a part of those fusions. I was like, okay, then yeah, sure, Goku and Vegeta, sure, whatever.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know why you're getting confused. What do you think I'm trying to say with this? Maybe I feel like I know what you're saying.
You were trying to say that Vegito is stronger than Goku, which I have no contentions with. But a form, a specific state they're in, was never specified until after that. When I agreed, you were like, "Oh, do you mean base Vegito?" And then, or no, you're like, "Oh, so you agree with base Vegito skills?" And I was like, "No." And then you're like,
"Okay." So what I said was, right, I'll even explain it again, just in case you don't believe me, go back on recordings. What I said was, homie, this point I would just scale Vegito above Goku, right? And then later on I specified it was base. And it wasn't like I just said, okay, so you believe base Vegito above this and that, okay, we can move on. No. What I said was, I even showed the data book. I was like, okay, here, they're referencing to base Vegito, the one that D-Ball sent, they're referencing to a base Vegito. And then I said another one, is like how the individual, a new human with amazing power, which either of them cannot, be capable of, separately, right? And then it shows how base Vegito was like, and then I think the one that Debo sent showed how base Vegito would be above Super Saiyan 3 Goku. And then I was like, okay, I think I've said everything I want to say. Do you have any more? You're like, not on this point in particular. I was like, okay, so I'm done with my point. Do you want to go on to yours, or do you want to go to conclusions? And then you said, nah, because I still have my whole entire scaling.
We can just rewatch the vid, then it's all good.
Most of it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you want to rewatch the vid, you can at me, and then we could rewatch the vid, shit like that.
Was it caught on camera? Because I don't remember. Part of it got cut out.
I don't know.
Is it gonna be uploaded, by the way? I can look at it.
Yeah, because
look, when the camera stopped, that had to be after the video.
Look, this is how the dialogue went. First was the whole thing about scaling above fusions. I thought he meant just Vegito as a whole scaling above Goku. Then he's like, all right, so, and I agree. I was like, all right, listen. He was like, oh yeah, so you agree that base Vegito scales. Then I said no, and I was like, all right, it's verbatim stated anyway. And then he told you to send the guide, that says whatever greater than that of a Super Saiyan 3. I said I disagree, but then after that, I don't remember what was brought up, but we got into a whole entire new point, and we all completely forgot about that. But I
feel like we're gonna keep going back and forth, right? Because you guys should say, and I guys should say, right? The best way we can end it is we could just later on when both of us have free time, just go watch the video again. Fuck it, and then you can tell me, okay, here goes. So this is what I mean here, and I could be like, oh, Dre, this is where I said this. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Because again, Dre, you're my homie, bro. I'm not gonna
to clarify. I don't dislike you or anything. I just have problems with the judge.
No, Dre, obviously, I don't believe you fucking hate
right. We can relook at the vid.
All right,
cool.
Yeah, Dre, because you're good, homie. I don't believe you're a fucking douchebag. I don't believe any of that, homie. You're good.
I do.
I was just saying, if you really have contentions, that's perfectly fine. Everybody does. Okay. I'm saying you can DM me. We can both look at the video. We can both go through it, and you can even have D-balls if you don't believe I'm, gonna be telling the 400%
the judge, so it's kind of up to him. I need him in there.
Wait, to be fair, we can whether I should say the verdict is ghosted or not, because it seems like. Okay.
At the moment, put in ghosted, because the thing is contested, but just put it up as ghosted for the moment.
No, we can just once the vid is posted, watch the vid. There was a mistake made.
It's gonna take forever.
Bada bing, bada boom.
You won't watch this video. I'm gonna debate who I think won.
This topic is so fucking cancerous, dude. And you know what's funny? I told you, I was like, I don't want to do this, bro. I hate this shit. He's like, nah, bro, we gotta do this. We have to do this. I was like, okay.
Okay, right, I'm gonna post the video right now. Okay.
Hold on. Whoa, not today. I got shit to do.
Alright, cool, then on your free time, ping me.
No, it's gonna take forever to post anyway, so. Okay, D-ball.
That's what I'm saying, because I want to be here when we see it, but at the same time, can't do it today.
Okay.
Tomorrow or some shit.
I'm gonna say this until D-Balls makes his next judgment based upon because maybe he misremembers something or is not seeing Dre's point. So because it seems like the judgment of this debate may I'm not saying it is have been flawed. All right, I'm not saying it is. Okay. So, I'm not gonna definitively say that Ghosted moves on to the next round of the tournament until D-Balls makes a second judgment, okay? Do you think that's fair?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
Dark, I'm gonna come over. Dark, I'm gonna rip your head off again.
You're gonna what? You're gonna come where?
I'm gonna come over. Whoa, what the fuck?
Tell him the second part from the other server.
No.
Yeah, what did he say?
So tell him the second part that you said the dark
Dre,
other day.
Child, silence.
So yeah, so you want more content because Dio wanted to debate me on MrPerfectCell versus Gohan.
Bro, Theo, secure this W.
Yeah, cool. I know you
manga or anime?
We're doing manga.
We're doing manga.
Legend, I'm surprised you're still here. Actually, no, never mind.
Okay. Yeah, let's go to VC1.
All right, we need a second.
Jay, homie, like aside from all that, it was a great debate. It was fun.
I agree.
That shit was long as dick.
Shut the fuck up,
Did
bitch.
you actually say this?
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna talk.
Where'd everybody go? I hear everybody leaving.
VC1. Yeah, I can hear. What's up?